up, bro?
What's going on, man?
I want to say shout out to
Jesse
for helping us out, man. Like,
we got some kick-ass visuals today.
we got badass
Looking
angles.
at us there.
We got badass angles thanks to Jesse. Like, he just set everything up, man, and he's helping us making this shit kick-ass episode.
Fuck yeah. So thank you very much, Jesse.
Shout out to Jesse.
But shout out to the other sponsors, Goonie and Alex. Hardest working guy out there.
Hardest working guy and the Goonernator.
Hell yeah. So what have you heard so far in current events?
Dude, these shit that I've been seeing on Twitter, it's mainly on Twitter, because like footage on shit like that is so easy to find. Dude, that fucking plane taking off and the people falling from the sky.
Dude, that shit was horrible. Dude, I saw that shit. I didn't even believe it. I was like, I didn't believe it. Because I only saw the first video when, like, dude, I gotta say, there was at least 1,000 people, dude, on that fucking airplane. It wasn't even funny.
Dude, have you seen the pictures of the people inside the planes?
No, I didn't even know there was pictures inside.
Like, I've seen pictures of people inside the plane. Like, I guess, again, I don't know the commanding orders or stuff like that. Who says, you know what, you got the green light to bring these people as asylum seekers?
Too bad they're leaving.
But there's pictures of hundreds, like up to like 600 people in planes.
And they're probably just stuffing them in there, huh?
Dude, yes.
You're on top of each other and that's
Like,
it, you're fucked.
Yeah, dude, it's sad. It's sad, bro, to watch that. But, I mean, that's the world we're currently in, you know?
I mean, it sucks, dude, when they were in a position where, I mean, I actually talked about this with one of our old coworkers. And this fool was a hardcore Biden fan. I'm talking about this fool's on Biden's nuts. You know him. We worked with him. And even he was like, I think he handled that thing bad. I was like, what the fuck? Like, he even said, he goes, dude, his speech, I'm not happy with his speech. I thought it was garbage. And I was like, huh. Wow. A fucking super hardcore Biden fanatic. I would assume, you know, you'd be on that shit. You know, you'd be like, nah, he did a great choice. But it's sad, honestly. I thought it could have been handled better. And I saw those same videos you were talking about, dude. And when I saw those two people just fall off the plane, dude, I was like, fuck. Like, think about it. Some people would rather die than to stay there. That has to tell you something. It has to tell you that there must have been some importance regarding the U.S. military being there in Afghanistan, right? Because how everybody here in the U.S. would always bash the U.S. military invading Afghanistan and invading the Middle East. That doesn't seem like an invasion if the people are actually clinging into planes to be taken with those U.S. soldiers, right?
Definitely.
It makes you seem, hey, actually it looks like these fools actually wanted these fools there. Because now it turns out that the Taliban is talking about that they're not going to give those freedoms that they were given before, the women were given before, regarding education, that they're only going to let them study up to elementary. And after that, they're fucked. They're not getting any more schooling. It sucks. Think about it. You're in the university. You're going to school to be a doctor. Just for out of nowhere, out of left field, the president says, "Hey, I'm gone. I ain't coming back."
Dude, the fact that the president
he left
Kabul.
Dude, the even worse and even crazier is they had supposedly 300,000 soldiers in the Afghan military, and none of them fought back. They said late.
You think they just ran off?
I don't know. Like, part of me thinks maybe they joined. Maybe they told the Taliban, like, hey, we actually do fuck with you guys. We're just, you know, doing this bullshit because the U.S. was here. I think that, because it's too coincidental that the Taliban, who are only like 75,000 strong, it is a high number, don't get me wrong, it is a fuck ton of guys. For them to come in where there's 300,000 soldiers, and the soldiers go, nah, I'm not gonna bother shooting at these guys. It doesn't make sense.
Something's not adding up.
You know, for them to just say, yeah, go ahead, take the capital. For them not to be like, you know what, let's protect our citizens, or let's do this. It doesn't add up. Something's off.
Something I will say about the fact that Biden finally took the troops out is he did it. It was a failure, but to be fair, in my opinion, what other president did it? No, Trump said he would do it. He had 4 years to do it.
I agree.
That's where I'm like, you know what? It's horrible, but I don't know if it would have gone any different had another president before Biden made that decision. Like I mentioned
to our buddy, I told him, I was like, I'm happy that he pulled the troops out. I honestly am. but I feel like he could have done it differently. You know, like I feel like it was too soon and too much of a short window to pull all those troops out. You know, like me personally, I feel like what they could have done now, like as soon as the Taliban started coming out, they could have just been like, ah, psych, we weren't leaving, and they could have just let everybody have it. Right there, they would have eradicated the Taliban, right? Once they got the news, oh, the U.S. is leaving. That's when the Taliban started. Within an hour, dude, they invaded Kabul. Within an hour, I think that would have been a perfect opportunity for U.S. to just say, psych, come in and fuck everybody up. Then Taliban no more.
Who knows what you risk as far as like lives?
No, I agree.
American lives,
you do risk a lot.
Civilian lives, to make it one final fucking like Avengers type of fucking battle, you know? Like, I think they look at the logistics of where they
motherfucker just like Captain America.
Yeah, I think they look at it like
throwing shields at him,
like the logistics, like the logistics that me and you don't understand. You know?
No, yeah.
Like civilian lives, American servicemen lives.
Okay, but think about it. Once the Taliban got there, people started leaving already, right? So, I'm going under the assumption that in the capital itself, there probably wasn't a lot of citizens there anyway. Maybe just sympathizers, which probably weren't a lot. Because looking at that runway at that airport, dude, there was at least thousands of people trying to escape. Thousands upon thousands. I don't think there's such a big population in Kabul. I don't think so. I don't know. I haven't looked at the numbers, but I'm assuming that there's not 1 million people in Kabul. Or like, no,
that sounds off.
That sounds off.
It's the capital.
That sounds off. But at the same time, it's Afghanistan. How many people have fled Afghanistan already, right?
A lot.
Exactly. So let's come out with the number 1 million. I may be wrong. You know, fucking sue me if I'm wrong. But let's come to the assumption that, yeah, 1 million people are in Kabul. At least half of those people left are right now trying to escape. They're out there in the runways trying to catch a plane and trying to get out. And, you know, escape all this persecution they're going to get from the Taliban. Because what I've been hearing is any supporter of the president, not just the U.S. president, but supporter of the Afghan president, is going to get killed. Anybody that sympathizes with the U.S. military is going to get killed. Anybody that is seeking rights or equality for women is going to get killed. Imagine if you fit into one of those. Let's say you decided to vote for the president because you said, oh, shit, I'm finally going to be a part of democracy. Let me see how it goes. And you just try it out. It doesn't mean you were big into politics or you want to get rid of the Taliban. You just said, hey, this is new to me. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give a democratic election the opportunity, and hopefully my life gets better. Based off of that, the Taliban goes, no, you turned on us. You're going to die. Like, wouldn't you want to run?
Yeah, definitely, bro.
Yeah.
Because I know this life, you know? I know what it's like here compared to the freedoms that I hear they don't have.
And look at it. Where do they want to run to?
Europe
or
the U.S.
Exactly.
But it's Europe too, bro. A lot of people want to make their way to Europe.
Yeah, but they want to get to the U.S.
It's way closer.
Oh, much closer. Fuck yeah.
I mean, I've heard Britain tried to fucking conquer Afghanistan. They call that area the graveyard of empires, bro.
Yeah, Russia tried it.
Soviet Union.
Everybody tried it. And it sucks. I mean, hopefully things get better. I mean, because it's been said that supposedly the Taliban, like I said, made their promise of giving some rights to women, but they're not going to give them all. Like right off the bat, they started making women wear the sharab, or I think what it's called, the sharab, right? The scarf over their head.
I've heard it's called the hijab.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, the hijab. Yeah.
Oh, it's a hijab. My bad. Thank you, Jesse. So yeah, they started making them wear them already. It's a trip.
Yeah,
it hasn't even been a week for when your fucking rights are getting taken from you,
dude. I've heard reports that the Taliban knew time was on their side. Like, America will leave, and all we got to do is wait it out. All we have to do is wait it out. You can promise us this. We can promise you this. How many people have you lost here? How much money have you left behind here?
Yeah.
How much of your fucking your tanks, your helicopters are we gonna fucking keep for ourselves?
Like, dude, they could have just. I'm telling you, if they would have done that, like, they would have been like, oh, psych, we didn't leave, fool, we just hid. We busted the same shit you guys did. And just fucking gave it to them, bro. I think that would have been Taliban no more. But who knows? I mean, I feel like it's still too soon. Because I'm in the hopes that, you know, within the next week at least, the Taliban doesn't get super radical. Because I heard these guys are hyper conservative. Like, I saw a video recently. I think it might have been a BBC report. This was actually recorded last year. They went to go interview a commander for the Taliban, right, out in the mountains. And he was getting interviewed by a foreign woman. Even though she was foreign, even though she wasn't Muslim, this fool demanded that she wear a hijab. Wear a hijab to watch his interviewing him. Like, dude, she's not a Muslim, but this fool basically said, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you're going to wear that shit. Like, what the fuck?
That's, would you say that's like super right wing?
I don't fucking know.
Like,
is it?
I mean,
when have you met a person here?
But it's a conservative thing, right? You said it yourself. They're super conservative.
I said hyper conservative.
Oh, hyper conservative.
Like, these fools are taking one thing to the whole another level. I've never heard a dude that's on the right, a hyper conservative, look at a woman with a crop top showing half her cleavage, say, "You should cover that."
But you're saying by this culture, American culture.
Yeah, I'm going by American.
No. What I'm saying,
I'm going by these fools.
I'm not. What I'm not comparing is the nations, but what I'm saying, if you had like a left or right, like our right wing here in America doesn't stand a chance to their hyper right wing.
Fuck no, these fools are basically QAnon.
Because that's like the ultimate thing. That's like, for them, it's traditional.
Well, yeah, religious.
To be conservative is to be traditional.
Yeah, it's part of their religion. You know, and it's a trip. Like, they were interviewing that dude, and he was saying that their mission is to get, once they take over villages, is they basically topple down every education system that village had, gets rid of it, and then puts in their own education system that is focused solely on religion and nothing else. Nothing else. And women, kids are allowed to go to those schools because obviously they teach you, hey, the man is the head of you, you're basically a servant and nothing more. You got no say, you got no rights, and we're going to teach you how to be a housewife. Like, they really, the girls go to school to learn housework. They teach them how to sew, they teach them how to cook, they teach them how to do all kinds of shit when it comes to housework. Like, is that, I mean, I think it's good for anybody, any kid to learn, not just girls. I think boys can learn how to fucking wash their own clothes too, you know? But do you think that's a life you want to teach your kid? You know, like, hey, this is all you're going to learn, this is all you're going to do for the rest of your life. Don't have any aspirations, don't have any dreams. This is it. This is going to be your life, and it's going to be ending 1 minute at a time. It's got to suck, right?
Dude, that's beyond conservative, man.
Yeah, dude, like,
that's like no choice.
It's fucking retarded. It sucks, but we'll see what comes up.
And hopefully we can have this conversation with someone that we both know that actually served overseas.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully soon. Hopefully that's coming.
So, yes. But in other news, though, have you heard about that California dude, the dude from California that ended up killing his kids in Rosarito?
No.
It's a really sad story. Our on-the-ground reporter, a.k.a. my girl, gave me the latest scoop on it, because I didn't even know. Mind you, that weekend that happened, I had just dropped off my mom at TJ. I was like, what? She goes, yeah, dude, that weekend you dropped off your mom? That's when they caught the dude. And it was like at 5 a.m, I think. And I think that was around the time I dropped her off, too.
When they caught him?
Yeah. So, okay. So, basically, I'm going to read you the story. So you can know more or less, more context of it.
All right.
It is a little, I don't know how much it includes on this one, because it is from ABC. The other headline I got it from YouTube. So, I'm going to read it to you. But if it doesn't show any more of the description, I'll let you in on some of it.
All right.
So far, this comes from ABC. A California man has been charged with the murder of his 2 young children in Mexico, authorities said. Matthew Taylor Coleman, 40 years of age, from Santa Barbara, California, was charged Wednesday with foreign murder of United States nationals, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Central District of California. He allegedly confessed to killing his 2-year-old son and 10-month-old daughter with a spearfishing gun.
A what? A spearfishing gun?
A harpoon gun.
Oh, my God.
Dude, thing about a harpoon gun is you gotta literally pull that shit out of the fish and load it back. It's not like a crossbow where you shoot that shit and then, okay, I'm gonna put another one. Because the thing is, there's a rope attached to it. So once you shoot it, most people put it to a winch on the boat, and the winch cranks the rope and it pulls out the fish, depending how big the fish is.
Right.
Usually they use harpoon guns for big-ass fish. So just imagine the poor kids that had to get shot by a harpoon gun, and then the dad still had to pull that shit out and shoot another one with it. Horrible. But I continue. According to a criminal complaint, Mexican authorities had initially listed the children's ages as 1 and 3, respectively, in a prior update on the investigation. Coleman had checked into a hotel near Tijuana, Mexico, with the 2 children on Saturday. Baja California. Prosecutor Hiram Sanchez Zamora's office said in the statement Tuesday. On Monday at 2:54 a.m. local time, Coleman allegedly left the hotel with his children and returned at 6:33 a.m. that day without them. Mexican authorities said he left the hotel about 3 hours later, according to Zamora's office, which shared security footage that allegedly showed Coleman checking into the hotel with the children and then leaving without them. Mexican authorities responded to a 911 call around 7 a.m. Monday, reporting the discovery of the children's bodies near a ranch about 18 miles from the hotel, Mexican authorities said. The children were found in a ditch with a large puncture wound to their chest, according to the criminal complaint. Mexican authorities had previously said that the children were found with multiple stab wounds. Coleman allegedly discarded the spearfishing gun and bloody clothes near a creek a couple of miles away, according to the criminal complaint. FBI agents arrested Coleman in San Diego after he crossed the border via the San Isidro Bridge, and he allegedly confessed to murdering his children. According to the criminal complaint, he had a cut on his hand from the spear, according to the complaint. That most likely happened when he pulled the spear out of his kid. Very graphic, I'm sorry, but...
No, it's cool.
He allegedly told investigators that he believed his children were going to grow into monsters, so he had to kill them, unquote. The complaint stated. He allegedly said he was, quote, enlightened by QAnon and Illuminati conspiracy theories, unquote, and believed his wife passed, quote, serpent DNA, unquote, onto his children, according to the complaint. Coleman allegedly told investigators where he left the children's bodies, which matched the location where Mexican authorities found them, according to the complaint. Santa Barbara police had received a missing persons report for a man and his 2 children who were believed to have crossed the southern border into Mexico. The FBI said in a statement to ABC News Tuesday. A joint investigation is underway among the Santa Barbara Police Department, the FBI in Los Angeles, and in San Diego, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, and Mexican authorities. The children's mother had reported the 3 missing after approximately 24 hours, according to the Santa Barbara Police Department. Damn, dude, that is fucking
Dude,
horrible.
that guy's a fucking monster.
It sucks. I mean, it makes you wonder, how far does that conspiracy theory have to go to make you believe it?
Dude, but I mean, what affects you mentally to that point to where you kill your own kids?
I agree. No, I agree with that 100%. But it's like, what has to get into your mind, or what drugs do you have to take to make you believe those conspiracy theories? Like, I don't know how much you know about QAnon, but from what I've read, I've always read that supposedly QAnon is about hopefully voting into office some dude that's going to get rid of the pedophiles in the Democratic Party. That's all I've known. I didn't know this was believed that the Democratic Party was full of lizard people. I didn't know that.
I was going to say, as soon as you started reading the story, only thing that came to mind for a while was Alex Jones.
Which, by the way, off topic, did you know that one of his stories turned out to be true?
Well, a lot of his stories turn out to
most recent
to have
one,
some truth in them.
This most recent one happened a week ago.
What was it?
The trafficking of human babies. It turned out to be true. They found out a university, I think it was on the East Coast, they actually found them trafficking newborn baby parts.
Trafficking? Or I heard they were buying it for quote-unquote research.
Okay, but trafficking because it turned out they got arrested for it.
Oh, they did?
They said I don't know if it's true. I do not know if it's true. I'm just going off on conspiracy mode. But they say that, I don't know if they got arrested, but they say that it's true that school did get caught with handling baby parts.
Okay.
And that they can't prove that they were donated. They were saying that they were donated at first, but they can't prove it. So they're actually saying that no, they trafficked those kids.
Because I do find it credible that maybe they find some ways to get actual, like, dead, discarded, like, fetuses for research.
No, yeah, I hear that in abortion clinics, they ask you, hey, would you be willing to donate the baby to science? And you say yes, and they pull the baby out and you do whatever the fuck they're gonna do with it.
Right.
I know they ask you that.
Because whether or not, like, I think that's wrong, it's one thing for them to go, hey, this is legal. You can feel however you feel, but this is actually legal. Okay, I'm going to sit in the corner, feel how I feel, but it's legal. Yeah. I don't know how they got it to be legal, but they did it.
I don't fucking know either.
But that's the thing with Alex Jones. So he says so much shit that ends up having truth to it.
Yeah. Well, same thing with the frogs being gay. I mean, they don't really necessarily make them gay. It changes their sex.
It does something in the water,
it changes their sex.
Yeah, it makes them, I think, what's the word? Androgynous.
Androgynous, yeah. But then it also makes them into hermaphrodites.
There you go.
So it's just like, fuck?
See, and that's the thing about Alex Jones. He blurts so much shit out, and you gotta love it. I shout out to Alex Jones. I
love
fucking
that
bro,
motherfucker.
never stop. People hate you, but they kicked you off everything. But never stop. I mean, it can't get any worse, right?
I mean, could you blame him? Could you blame him that he got fucking kicked off of everything?
It's because he doesn't have a publicist. I think he puts himself in that role, which is horrible.
I agree.
He should have advisors.
I mean,
Like, they don't take away from his personality, but they sound like just not like that. Say it this way,
hey, just tweak it a little bit.
and that'll keep you on.
Just don't scream this one.
That'll
out.
keep you on
Don't
YouTube.
yell about this one.
Yeah,
Just chill the fuck out.
but dude, as you were telling that story, that's all I kept thinking about. That sounds like Alex Jones.
But this fool said he got it from QAnon. Last time I checked, Alex Jones had nothing to do with QAnon.
No, I'm not conflating. I'm not trying to conflate Alex Jones with QAnon. He has his own ideas and like his beliefs. I'm not saying that he's full on QAnon.
No,
right?
I know.
But I've actually used to listen to Alex Jones. I think it was around 2012.
I still do.
And I had the app. I believe I had the app first.
The Infowars app?
Infowars app. Dude, I used to work out listening to Alex Jones. So I'm not about to pretend like, what? Who's that? No, I used to listen to Alex Jones while I would fucking take 2 scoops of fucking pre-workout, bro.
While you're hearing talk about calling Hillary Clinton a demon?
Dude, how paranoid do you think I would get trying to fucking do dumbbells while listening about fucking lizard people, Hillary Clinton, the shadow government?
Well, you'll be like, fuck, they're probably
And I was like, dude, how much of this shit is the pre-workout and how much of this shit is the truth? You know, but I used to listen to a lot of Alex Jones back in the day. So I'm not gonna pretend like, oh,
No, I get you.
who's that crazy guy? You know?
No, I get you. But it's just going back to this. It trips me out, dude. Like, it sucks. It sucks that the kids had to pass away because their father is a fucking nut. You know, the children don't deserve that one bit. You know, not at all. But it's like, even if it's a conspiracy theory, bro, what leads you to kill your kids? You know?
I don't know how fucking
Does that, like,
depraved some people get with mental illness. You know?
do you think? I kind of want to think it was drugs.
What kind of drugs do you think it was?
I don't fucking know, dude. Sherm, PCP could get you like that, dude. My cousin fool was telling me how he was on high on PCP one time, dude, and he slapped the shit out of his homie because he thought he was a demon. And I said, bro, you thought he was a demon? He goes, bro, I slapped him so hard for that he got scared. He jumped out the car. And he goes, mind you, I was driving 40 miles an hour in the car and he still jumped out. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, really, bro? Did you slap him that hard? He goes, bro, I slapped the shit out of him. He goes, I think I broke his nose. He goes, because I thought he was a demon.
Yeah,
Because I was
but
high on
okay.
PCP.
Yeah, no, I believe that, dude. I believe in like people having those kind of trips where they fucking do things like that. I've heard somebody told me that he jumped into someone's house and tried to rescue them while he was on fucking PCP, and he jumped through a woman's window to try to save her, quote unquote, because he thought someone was trying to get her. Meanwhile, she's just like, "Who the fuck are you? You just jumped through my window."
The fuck out, weirdo.
And then I heard someone else tell me that when they were on PCP, that they literally threw a fucking one of his kids' Rugrats blanket on himself, and he thought that when the cops came, that made him invisible.
Oh my god.
With this fucking shoe sticking out, and he was like, "Dude, I was convinced they couldn't see me."
Dude, hey, PCP is not a drug. That's the only thing I could think of. Like, do you really think mental illness is that bad? I would assume if his mental illness was that bad, he'd probably kill the kid after the first one, right? I don't think he'd wait 2 kids to kill both. I think after the first one, he'd be like, wait, this one's a lizard. I'm going to kill this one. I don't think he'd wait till he had 2, right?
Again, when I think about mental illness, bro, I don't really expect rational thinking. I expect depravity, if that's even how you say the word. Like, just somebody that, and at some point, he probably went far enough to where he said, I already did this. Like, what's the point of me? That he probably thought I might as well kill my second child.
Maybe. I don't know.
Again, we don't think like that. I can't, you know.
So far from what I've read, it hasn't said anything about him having any drugs in his system. So far from what I've read. Maybe later they'll come out with more reports stating no, he had all this shit in his system. Because that's the only thing I'm thinking, you know. I'm only thinking that. Like, I don't think I would be. But then again, look at the dude that killed John Lennon. He went nuts after fucking reading Catcher in the Rye.
Dude, you see, that's what I mean. Like, does it make sense to you that you'll read a book where, is there any mention of John Lennon in that book?
No.
So how the hell do you connect, I just read this book. Wow, what a cool book. Let me go kill that guy.
I don't know.
You know? It's not rational unless
I'm not
somebody
gonna
out
lie.
there.
Like, I'm not gonna lie though. Like, it does make a little bit of sense, but not catching the right making you kill somebody. Like, I've been reading that Waco book, and I've been going like, I can't trust the fucking government, you know.
Yeah.
But what's the fucking Waco book about? It's about how the government came and fucking murdered all kinds of innocent people.
Yeah, you see?
So it's gotten me a little paranoid, but not paranoid to the point where it's just like, if I see an Asian, I'm gonna go kill him. I mean, it hasn't gotten me that paranoid yet.
Yeah, and what's
Probably because I haven't finished the book.
maybe that guy got too deep into QAnon.
Maybe. I didn't know they went that deep. I didn't know it went to the point where these was believed in lizard people. I didn't fucking know that.
It's fucking weird, man. And I will say this: I have seen, like, let's say I go on Twitter, I have seen things that pop up like in the trending page about, like, it'll be fucking just pick a random publication saying like, oh, the fucking people's mental illness on the rise during the pandemic, or shutdown will lead people to their breaking point and stuff like this.
Well, it did lead a lot of people to that.
A lot of people went to
I
their
heard
breaking
suicides
point.
went up.
Yeah, you see.
That's
So
what
it's
I've
like,
heard.
dude, this is a dark time for a lot of people. Not to excuse
Unfortunate.
anything that guy did at all,
No, not at all.
but it's just like, when I hear stories like this, it's like, dude, I think I'm rational, but who knows where other people's minds are?
No, I agree.
Through, maybe their finances are in the gutter. Maybe they ran businesses and those failed because of the shutdowns.
But it's because some people just, unfortunately, don't have the mental fortitude to be able to put up with that amount of stress. They don't. Some people, they lose a job, even though it's a bullshit job at McDonald's, and they lose it. Oh, that's it. My life's over, bro. I'm going to go jump off the bridge. I mean, it sucks the way I'm saying it. I'm saying like a cold bastard, but it's true. Some people just give up after, one failure. When it's like, dude, the thing about life, it's a bitch. It's not pretty. It's never going to be pretty. But you can make it pretty if you put the work in, not give up.
Yeah.
Keep on pushing.
Dude, some people are losing friends.
Yeah.
Politics now, it's at the point where people lose friends.
Unfortunately.
Family, too. People have been turning on family just because this person believes they should mask. This person believes it's their freedom to not mask,
I don't know. I mean, I think it did get ridiculous at that point too. Honestly, like I've said it before, I don't give a shit about the vaccine. I think it's safe. I don't care about it. But if I didn't get it, don't bitch at me because I didn't get it. You have the freedom to get it. Go fucking get it. Leave me alone. You want to be safe? Be safe. Hey, you're vaccinated, right? So you're safe now. So even if I spit on you, you should be safe, right? Not saying I'm gonna do it, but
yeah.
according to them, that's some people go by that logic. I'm not saying it's true, but I don't know. We're living in a fucking crazy world right now. But it is what it is.
That's a fucked up case, man.
It is a very fucked up case. I don't know. Hopefully those kids didn't suffer much, although it does seem like it was a horrible thing. But we'll see. But skipping the topic though, you were the one that put me on game over the leftover women in China. You remember that? We talked about this before.
Yeah, because their population, it's a little... culturally, I think they got more boys. I believe that's the case.
they do.
That they got way more boys.
I think they're I think for every 3 men there's 1 woman. I think.
Yeah, and how, like, basically the men are in such competition because over there the standard, like the very, like you're doing the basic, you're just like at the you're barely meeting the bar, is being a property owner.
What?
Yeah.
Well, you're not even a property owner in China. You're a property renter.
Because traditionally they're like, you got to court the woman, I guess, or whatever. You got to have something to offer. So what families will do is they'll help their son to own or like you said, rent property in order to be like, look, I'm a worthy
guy,
bachelor.
Yeah.
Like, ladies should look my way. What do all these other guys have to offer? They don't even have a house. I have a house. I come with the house. My parents helped me buy a house.
It's rented, but it's mine.
So it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, because I remember you were telling me about this, and over the past week, I've been watching a lot of Vice. I've been getting hooked on that shit because they do have some interesting documentaries. And one of them I saw was that in Beijing, people are capitalizing on leftover women, and they're making markets. Like, you could actually go to the streets of Beijing and go to a certain park. I forgot the name of the park. But you go to that park, and people are literally lining up in benches. Parents lining up with benches with pictures of their daughters. And they say, my daughter is 30-something. They put the name, the age, their height, their weight, their birth month, and the birth date. Because according to, I guess, belief in China, that if they want to be compatible, that they have to have the birthday on the same month, or more preferably closer to each other. So let's say your birthday is today, August 12th. If the other girl's birthday was on August 14th, like, oh my god, you guys are super compatible.
Isn't that because there's zodiac? I've eaten
I'm assuming it's because of the Chinese zodiac.
at a restaurant where they'll be like, oh, if you're a dragon, stay away from the mouse or something like that.
I don't fucking
or
know.
if you're a tiger, you know, the cat is your enemy or something.
I don't fucking know. I mean, I'm assuming maybe it's because of that.
So if it's going by that, then yeah, every fucking man should go look for a fucking woman that's like they have the same birth month.
Maybe.
Not to take into account their personalities, they have similar interests. It's just like same birth month, same birth month.
All right, you're good. Let's go. No, but dude, there's guys out there. Oh, like they interviewed some old man. I would say he's probably older than my dad. He's probably like in his 60s. This fool is legit in the park slanging pictures. Like, he goes up to people and he goes, oh, what are you looking for? Oh, I'm looking for a husband for my daughter. You got a picture of your daughter? Yeah, this is her. And he'll be straight up with them. He'll be like, honestly, she looks too old, but give me this amount and I'll work with it. I can get you somebody. Oh, how long will it take? Well, because of your daughter's looks. And how old is she? Oh, she's 35. Yeah, see, that's already too old. We'll see what we could do.
Dude,
And this fool goes around in the park, runs around in the park, slanging the picture to people.
crazy.
Like, he makes copies of that picture that they give him, and he goes to all kinds of people. Oh, you're looking for a daughter-in-law? Yeah, I'm looking for. Okay, well, look, I got this candidate over here. Don't worry, her age might be 35, but look at her. She looks like if she's 20. Like, he sells it to them, dude. And some people actually bite.
Dude, I was gonna say, this reminds me of that girl. I forgot her name, dude. It's not that easy to say, but I first saw her being interviewed by Patrick Bet-David. Shout out to Patrick Bet-David. Shout out to Valentainment. And then I saw her get interviewed, or she was on Tim Pool's podcast. And then just I forgot her name. She's just like she escaped from North Korea.
Was it that spy chick?
Spy? I don't know her to be a spy. I just know, you know, that she fucking tells her story of like horrible conditions in North Korea, like all the famine, all the people that get punished for, like, you know, generational crimes and stuff like that. And then just recently I saw her on Joe Rogan's podcast. So I was like, cool, man. She had her moment with Patrick Bet-David, Tim Pool, JRE. So, you know, like a lot of...
Hopefully she comes here next.
That'd be awesome to have her, you know?
You better come next.
But she was saying
whatever
that...
your name is.
She was saying... I forgot her name. I couldn't remember it. But she was saying that what happens is that North Korean girls, they get trafficked to China. Because obviously they have like... they have more men than women.
Yeah.
So they're like... we need more chicks. And they bring in chicks from North Korea.
Really?
Yep. I remember that's one of the stories that she was telling. Yeah.
Dude, I'm tripping out on this whole thing when it comes to Asia, dude, and it comes to that side of the planet when it comes to the way they handle women. Cause I also saw another story, dude. It was in Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan is above China, right above China. I'm assuming that's where the Uyghur Muslims are at. I'm not too sure. But from what I know, it's its own country, Kyrgyzstan. But the dudes look like Asians. They look like if they're Mongolian.
Yeah.
But it's one thing that's tradition. They call it tradition, is kidnapping brides. Mind you, some people see it as a norm. Where they literally, you see a girl you like, you say, hey, sickly, that's the girl I want to marry. And I'd be like, do you know her? I only talked to her once at the store, but that's going to be my wife. Okay, fuck it, let's do it. Like, dude, they plan it out to where they already prepared for the wedding. They already got the food going. They already got, like, the dude's, like, mom and aunts or whatever, like setting up the dress or whatever. They literally just go grab the girl wherever she is. Grab her, throw her in a car, and then they take her back to the dude's house, where right there they just put the clothes on her. Mind you, if you see these videos, it's disturbing because you see the girl screaming and crying. Like, one of them says, like, I got a boyfriend. She's like, I got a boyfriend already. And she goes, no, boyfriends are no good. You're gonna have a husband that's gonna treat you right. Just get married. And she goes, like, they're crying, dude, bawling. They're kicking, they're punching, they're pulling because they don't want to get married. And they're like, no, you're fine. It's tradition. It's normal. And it gets to the point, dude, where you're just like, this is kind of hard to watch.
Yeah.
Like, you know me. I'm into the macabre. I'll watch a snuff film and fucking eat some popcorn. But even watching that, it's disturbing, dude. Like, see a woman get her rights taken from her like this. And it's like, they follow the story of one dude where he tells the girl, like, he tells her, like, oh, I already had plans to marry her. She knows I want to marry her. And I'm a kidnapper today. So Vice is following them, and they're showing everything, how they're doing it, how they're preparing the food already, how they already bought all kinds of vodka. So the dude, the reporter, goes with them, dude, to go kidnap this chick. He goes in a separate car, though, because they asked him, like, oh, do you want to grab her with us? And he goes, nah, I don't want to do that. Like, I ain't going that far. He goes, I'll record it, though, or whatever. So they go, and the girl that they kidnap, they get her best friend to plan it out.
What?
Yes. Like, they get the best friend, and they say, hey, all right, so you're going to go to this. I think it's like a watering hole where people go wash their clothes. And they're like, you're going to go to that watering hole. You're going to pull her out, right? And she goes, yeah, I'll take her. We'll go there. So they tell her, we're going to kidnap both of you guys. That way she doesn't think you set her up. So she's like, okay. So they're preparing already. They're like, all right, we're ready to go meet her up. We're about to take off. And then they ask the dude, like, hey, like, do you know her? He goes, yeah, I've known her for a while. And he goes, does she know you're trying to kidnap her? He goes, I told her that I want to marry her. And she says she wants to get married too. So he goes, so she knows she's going to get kidnapped. And he's like, no, because she doesn't want to get kidnapped yet. So they do it, bro. They kidnap both these chicks. And obviously, it's fucking hilarious. It's sad to say this, but it's fucking hilarious at first. Because they were supposed to kidnap both, right? But the friend that's supposed to get kidnapped is actually helping them carry the girl to the car.
Dude, that's fucking...
And then they go, oh, wait, we're kidnapping her too. And they take her.
Oh, they take the friend too?
They take the friend too, because that was the plan. Like, hey, we're going to kidnap both of you guys. So you guys could, so she could think, oh, it was just an unfortunate incident where we got both kidnapped, But that wasn't the case. So they get this girl, right? They take her out. And the whole ride back to the dude's house, she's crying. She's screaming, like, let me go. Like, I don't want to get married yet. And he was like, come on, just relax. It's fine. And she's like, no. Like, I can't. I got to go back to my mom. Dude brings her home. They pull her out of the car. Mind you, it's like 3 dudes holding her. 3 dudes are holding onto her. They take her into like a tent. It looks like a crazy ass tent where it's nothing but women. Nothing but women are in there. And they're like putting smoke in her face, like doing all kinds of some crazy ass like ritual tradition thing. And they're covering her with jewels and putting on like stuff on her face and crazy shit. And she's crying. The whole time she's crying. She's like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And then out of nowhere, it's like magic. Out of nowhere, her face completely changes. Mind you, tears are still running down her face. Her face completely changes, though. And she starts accepting food from these people. These people are feeding her in the mouth. And she's accepting it.
Whoa.
Like, she accepted her fate. Like, but it's like this, dude. It's like this. It's quick. And it's like part of, like, if you look at her face, part of it looks like defeat. Like, she goes, there's no way I'm getting out of this. I'm not going to get out of it. So she goes, fuck it. I'm just going to come to it. It's a trip where people are making this it's been the norm, It's been the norm in Kyrgyzstan to kidnap your wife. But recently now, some people are being opposed to it, Because I guess tradition dictates that once you do kidnap your bride, you're supposed to go to the family of the bride you kidnapped and basically go ask for forgiveness and give them all kinds of things. Whatever they ask for it, you give it to them. So they literally take cases of vodka. They took 2 cases of vodka. They took them a goat. And they took, like, other food to go give it to them. And they said, oh, we're sorry, But, that's how tradition is. And the parents are okay with it. But the grandma's the one that's, like, bitching about it. Like, the grandma's like, no. She was going to school. She only had 1 year left. I want my granddaughter to finish school. And he's like, oh, come on. Like, don't worry. My son will treat her right. Like, everything's fine. You know how things are. And she goes, no. She only had 1 year left of school. Is she going to continue school? Promise me she's going to continue school. And the dad's like, yeah, we'll have her finish school. And he goes, in that case, I'm okay. And he goes, because my granddaughter had an education and she wanted to do something and I want her to do that. The parents were, like, okay with it. They were like, you're like, it sucks, but it is what it is. That's how it is. But the grandma was adamant about it. She goes, no, fuck that. You better promise me this, or if not, fuck that. Bring her back.
Damn.
I was tripping out. But it's being frowned upon now. Now a lot of more people are speaking against it because there's been multiple cases where they do get kidnapped by the husband, and it turns out the husband is a complete douchebag, beats them, humiliates them in front of people and guests, so the women end up killing themselves. And a lot of women have been killing themselves recently that have been kidnapped. So I guess the dude interviews some of the people there and tells them, like, hey, you know, this doesn't fly in Western culture, right? Like, this isn't something that is a norm in Western society. Like, you do notice that a lot of people are speaking up against you guys, right? And the dudes were going like, we don't care what the West says. And they're like, why not? And they quote, I even remembered it. Quote, what they say is the West offers gay and lesbian relationships, HIV, divorce, orphans, brutality, drug, and violence. So we will never listen to what the West has to say. That was their response.
Wow.
To people saying that. Like, it's crazy, dude.
Well, you just said that guy said, quote unquote. It reminds me of, I forgot where I heard it, so I'm not going to repeat the statistics like I know it, but somebody was saying, you know, that majority of arranged marriages last more than, like, here in America, where it's like a 50% divorce rate.
What do you mean? They do?
That I guess culturally they were talking about India. It might have been India that they do like arranged
India
marriages.
is popular for arranged marriages.
Arranged
yes.
marriages, like, okay, our son, you have a daughter. Well, we're not rich, but
well, you know what's the reason for arranged marriages, right?
What's the reason?
It's for a combination of resources.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because they'll be like, hey, we don't got a lot of money, you don't got a lot of money, but hey, my son is educated.
That's kind of what I was getting to.
Oh, okay.
My bad. we don't come from money necessarily, but me and my wife, we've saved up, we have our boy, and you have your girl. They're around the same age, basically. Let's cut a deal. You know.
And what do you think?
And culturally, I guess those parents are like, fuck it.
Wait, but how do you think they cut the deal?
Just like, our boy marries your girl.
Let's say you're in that situation, bro. I got a very beautiful daughter.
We got a tall...
And you got a tall, handsome son with a beautiful reddish beard.
Robust son. Let's have them meet.
Sell it to me, bro. You gotta sell it to me.
All right, so they're fucking awkward. I don't gotta sell it.
No, try to sell it. How would you sell it to me?
All right, so, they met. They're kind of awkward. But you know how this thing goes. That's how I fucking met my wife. That's how you probably met your wife. So let's just have a nice dinner, and we'll let them know that, we choose each other.
Wait.
My family agrees to marry into your family.
Yeah, but how would you sell it? The thing is, how would you sell it?
Well, I don't think like that, so I don't know how I could sell it.
On the hypothetical, let's say, because the thing is, you can't just say, hey, let's arrange the marriage. Because the thing is, I'm not going to give up my daughter knowing I'm not going to get a good deal. Well, nor you're going to give up your son if you know you're not going to get a good deal from me. Right?
Well, here's the thing. To make it more fun, I think you're more excited about seeing a hypothetical, so I actually want to see you pitch. How would you pitch?
I called it out first,
but I don't know. I just finished saying I don't think like that, so I can't even imagine.
Okay, so I'm gonna put the position that you got the kid, right?
Okay.
You got the daughter. I got the son.
daughter.
Because most of the time, the people that arrange the marriages are the people with the sons, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, hey, Jay, I see your little.
Little?
My bad.
She's 20.
Whatever. I'm fucking 60. That's why I see her as little. You dick, don't no.
Right.
I meant like 20.
All right, yeah.
But okay, she's in her fucking 20s, so I'm seeing her as little. Fuck, that came out completely wrong. Okay, I see your 20-year-old daughter. It's the alcohol. I see your 20-year-old daughter, and I got my handsome 25-year-old son. They're around the same age, and I've noticed that you got your little business going, and you really don't trust your daughter running it, right? My son over here already started his small business that he runs by himself. It's not as lucrative and it's not as big as yours. But as you can see, he's been running it pretty well, right?
Yep.
So what do you say? You have my son marry your daughter. He actually brings his business and his current clientele to your business. Well, then eventually you guys merge, and once you retire, he runs it. And hopefully they have a child of their own. Hopefully a son first, because we all want a boy. And then he runs the business after.
True.
That way you feel more comfortable having one of your grandson who came out of your blood running the business instead of my son.
Wow. Well, since we're both Indian.
Yeah.
And this tends to be the norm here. I'm convinced.
Hey,
So we're gonna make it happen.
just for shits and giggles, I'll even throw a cow. I know you're not supposed to give them up because they're sacred in our culture. But you know what? Just so I could just,
You know what?
tie
Say
in
no
that
more.
trust.
Deals off. I can't trust a man that would give me his cow.
Wait, what the fuck? Why not? I'm trying to strengthen the bond.
You said it yourself. They're sacred. How could I trust you when you were willing to give me
Because
a cow?
I'm trying to strengthen the bond we got, the family bond.
What's more important to you?
How would it not be more
Your
sacred?
child or your cow?
I mean, my cow. But,
Exactly.
But I mean, that's
I would
the way-
never give you my cow.
I'm not asking for your cow. I'm asking for your daughter.
Now I'm starting to doubt your judgment.
No.
Does your son think like you?
No. He doesn't.
He is
See,
your son.
He has a business.
Maybe the fruit doesn't fall to however the fuck the saying goes.
Far from the tree.
Yeah.
Fool. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
If he married my daughter, would he give away their cows too?
No. Because I already gave you mine. See, the cow's mine. It's not his. So don't judge him off the cow that I'm giving you. That's mine.
Like father, like son.
No. I'm trying to strengthen the bond. See, we're trying to strengthen the relationship, man. We're gonna share a cow. Just let's see it as us sharing the cow.
I don't know, man. Like give me
You
a
want another
month.
cow?
Give me a month to think about
You
it.
too.
Yeah, nah. I think that's how it would go. You messed up the minute you offered your cow.
Yeah, because they think relatives fucking are reincarnated into cows. So
Oh,
I
really?
basically gave you my grandma. Oh shit, it's kind of awkward because my grandma just died too.
Well,
Fuck.
all I've heard is that arranged marriages, like they stick around, they last.
Really?
Yep.
Huh?
Which is crazy because I used to be like, dude, that sounds like a nightmare. But how could you live a nightmare? Like, how could you see it to the end? I guess, or
Well, it all depends because there's various cultures that they frown upon like a woman spending the night at a man's house. Like I've heard a lot of coworkers that I had. I think it even probably happened in my family. Maybe I think in my family it happened too, where an aunt probably got kidnapped. I'm assuming. I'm under the assumption they got kidnapped. I think they might have, but I think it's like a distant cousin probably got kidnapped. But they don't even do anything with them when they get kidnapped. They basically just kidnap them, keep them for the night, let them go, and then by the time they get back to their family, they're frowned upon. They see you as you're unclean because you spend the night at somebody else's house.
yep, I've
So-
actually heard of that.
You're actually forced to go back to that person because your parents shunned you.
They got to take care of you. Now.
They got to take care of it. Which kind of, I mean, it kind of sucks. No, not kind of. It definitely sucks. You know, you get shunned and you get look like a whore because, you know, you got kidnapped. It's not your fault you got fucking kidnapped. But even like in Mexico, that's still common practice. People still do that shit. I had a coworker that said supposedly he kidnapped his brother's wife.
What?
That he kidnapped from. And I was like, and they're still together? He goes, yeah, bro, they've been married for a while. How does that relationship work?
Dude, I can't imagine, man. I'm not into kidnapping girls, man.
I'm not saying you are, dick. But how awkward would it be, dude? Like, you know, let's just say
I just can't fathom.
I don't know how I can't either. I'm not into kidnapping girls either, dude.
You're
The
getting,
fuck?
hey, you're getting defensive, bro.
No.
Tone it
fuck
down.
you.
Tone it
No,
down.
fuck you, because you at first you made it seem like if I'm not into it.
No,
You are.
No, I just mean it by like.
No, I'm not. For the record, I'm not into kidnapping kids or women or kidnapping dudes. None of that.
Just for educational purposes
Educated
only.
purpose. If you identify as a fucking dog too, I don't kidnap. No,
It's all
nothing.
been educational purposes.
Educational purposes only. Okay, educational purposes only. I'm not into kidnapping either, so I don't know. I can't put myself in that situation either.
But all I meant by that is like, you know, here what we know is, you like somebody, they like you, it works.
yeah,
You like them, they don't like you. Oh, it's not gonna work because they want to be with someone they like.
yeah.
You know, so we don't really know the culture of arranged marriages. We don't really know the culture of kidnapping brides, forcing someone to accept that you are now a union. You know,
And it's odd, dude. But it's odd. Like, how do you see yourself starting a relationship and a family with somebody that you know kidnapped you or was arranged to marry you?
maybe they dig it. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know,
right?
man.
'Cause
I
look,
don't know.
I do have family members that have been in arranged marriages. I do that. One of my dad's cousins, I think. I know that their wedding was arranged and they got kids. So I've always wondered in the back of my mind, like, dude, how awkward was it when they fucked? Like, just think about it, dude. You're complete fucking strangers. For all we know, my dad's cousin probably had a dude on the side already, that she was probably plowing before, she got home one day after, getting rammed. And then her parents say, oh, we already found you a suitable husband. She goes, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I already got a dude. Oh, well, too bad you're going with this guy.
Dude, that is
And
crazy.
you're going to the U.S., Like, how awkward is it when when you got to fuck?
I will say this. I'm not with the whole forcing someone, like, to marry you
No,
or
not at all.
arranged marriage. But they do say that a lot of people just like being told what to do. Like, hey, man, I don't really want to do too much thinking.
See?
Just tell me what to do.
No, see, that answer already makes it seem like you probably are open to that.
Okay, how?
Because you were like, oh, well, some people just want to be like, oh, just tell me what to do.
I just finished saying I'm not into the kidnapping your wife.
But that tone.
I'm
just pointing out the tone. I'm not saying you
But-
are.
I understand. But I'm trying to understand what would make, how do you form that culture? And I have heard that some people
so you
just
didn't say that
like,
before, though.
yeah, dude. But let me get it
Okay,
out.
I'll let you elaborate.
And
But just for the
I'm
record.
not the one that has had to backtrap like 2 times that you're not into kidnapping and all
Hey,
this.
for the record, you had to backtrack too right now.
No, I didn't
That's all we're
backtrack. I still stand by what I'm saying.
Okay, continue.
I just had to elaborate
what
with
the
you.
fuck am I doing?
But no backtracking, just elaborating. Also, educational purposes only.
Educational purpose only.
But I've heard some people say,
You
like,
want
dude,
any more?
I just like being told what to do. I don't really like fucking thinking.
Oh no, we're out.
And I guess that's why some people are more willing to go into like communism. Just like let the state control everything. I don't even want to think.
Wait.
I don't want to plan my own stuff. I just want to fucking.
You took me out of left fucking field. What the fuck did that have to do with communism?
Okay.
Bro, you took this whole conversation to left field, bro.
To elaborate again, what do you think is the opposite of democracy and freedom?
Communism and oppression.
No, totalitarianism.
Okay.
How do you get there?
Putting somebody in charge of it?
It's not just black and white. It's something called the Overton window,
Okay.
which politically it's like imagine this thing that shifts continuously from right to left, sometimes in the middle. So it's what at some point for a leader or a politician might be considered political suicide.
Okay.
You remember that one dude that was running for president and he made some awkward ass like "Rah!"
Oh yeah.
And-
Dave Chappelle made a fucking
all media
Ah!
all media, like a lot of fucking political pundits said that's it for that guy.
He's fucked.
That little fucking weird ass noise he made, that's it. He wasn't caught with like trafficking people. He wasn't caught with like nothing majorly illegal. No, it was just that weird noise he made. That's it. That's the end of the line, buddy.
No, yeah, I agree. I know.
I don't really understand it, how that could end somebody's political run, but there's politicians that might have done that very same weird thing. They would have gotten away with it.
I agree.
It makes me think of like Trump. Some of the fucking crazy, bombastic thing he said. I don't know any politician in contemporary times, like right now, that could get away with some of the things he said. Probably because he's so smooth with it, but it's also, he's just like this enigma.
Yeah.
But the Overton window, bro, basically to sum it up, is just like this frame that the right thing has to happen, said by the right leader, for it to be not political suicide. Because people will turn on somebody that does something that's just, hey, you know what, you lost me.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I understand that. But like I said, you lost me already. We're talking about fucking kidnappings.
We're talking about kidnappings. We're talking about arranged marriage.
Yeah, but you brought in politics. And now
Okay,
you're just,
so how I got to
and the
politics,
Overton window, I was like, wait, what?
Okay, so how I got to politics was
You fucking
basically
right now.
I know, but how I got to politics was kidnapping your wife, arranged marriages.
Yes.
That's taking somebody's what? Free will.
Free will, yeah, basically.
Free will.
Yeah.
You're just saying, hey, you wanted to marry so
You're
and
my
so.
property now. That's
You're
it.
actually gonna go marry so and so.
Yes, okay.
So I'm trying to say the difference is we don't understand that culture because we
Not at all.
don't live in that culture.
No, yeah, I agree.
We live in the culture of I chose my girlfriend and my girlfriend simultaneously chose me. You chose your girlfriend, she chose you, yada 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 yada.
Yeah, okay.
But let's say we're not me and you. We're two guys in India. Your
Or
wife
Sanji and Apu.
might have been arranged marriage. My wife might have been an arranged marriage.
Most likely.
How do they look at the West? They're like, those guys choose their own wives, but half of them get divorced.
No, that's true.
Meanwhile, my grandparents, they died. But my parents, are still together. Your grandparents are dead too, but your parents are still together. You know?
No, I think. Oh no, wait.
No, I'm saying Indian us.
Oh, okay.
You know? So it's like,
well, I mean,
and they don't even think about divorce.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, if it's Indian us, bro, our grandparents technically aren't.
And
dead.
any other culture that might fucking be, arranged.
Yeah,
educational purposes only.
Education purposes, but if it's Indian us, they're not dead. They're cows now. Just pointing out the facts, bro.
Whatever, dude. But that's how I got to there. Maybe I might have done like fucking lease, but it's just it's one connects to the other, connects to the other. I don't probably elaborate the best, but it's just when I think of arranged stuff, it's not necessarily free will.
Okay.
It's not like I chose them, they chose me. It's more like, hey, the parents chose.
Yeah. It was a trip though. It was a trip. Kyrgyzstan is fucking off the fucking rails. That we'll leave it at that. We'll leave that topic at that.
Yeah, they're tripping.
But one thing I do want to bring up that I did find interesting because you brought it up to me actually was the opioid crisis.
Dude.
Crazy. I haven't really done a lot of research beforehand. Well, I mean, I did my research recently, but I mean, like in the past, I never really looked into it and I never really thought there was a crisis.
Wait, because before we get to Jesse, I actually want to ask you something. Do you think some people like living in mobile homes?
Oh my fucking god! No.
People like living in mobile homes.
No. Elaborate.
Do you think some people that live currently in mobile homes like living there?
No, elaborate.
Okay, you elaborate because I don't know what you're
trailers.
trying to
Not a mobile home because a mobile home is big.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a trailer where you
could extend.
Okay, but they extended by ripping the wall of the actual trailer. If you pay attention to that trailer, they ripped the wall of the actual trailer. So if they moved and they pulled that trailer out, a wall is missing from it. I don't know if you knew that.
Which wall?
A wall of the trailer is missing.
You're talking about the ones where they take them on freeways and...
Yes, it's one of those. Yes, it's one of those.
Yeah,
do you think somebody... Yes, do you think somebody would want to live in those off their free will? Wait. Let me elaborate. I'm not saying like if you're taking it across the country to drive around. I'm saying like, hey, this is your permanent home. You and your husband and your 3 kids.
What 3 kids?
I'm just saying 3 kids.
Why you say 3? It was 2.
3 kids are made up. I didn't want TMI, dick.
It was 2.
I know it's 2, but I wanted to say 3.
Why 3? To make it sound like a turnoff.
Okay, we'll do 2. I just didn't want to give off a lot of information.
And the kids are slim. They don't take up too much.
What the fuck does it being slim have to do with it?
We're not saying no names.
We're not saying no names. Educational purposes only. Okay, yes. What do you think?
No, but hold on. It's not what do you think, like, do you want to live there? Do you think there's people that actually be like, yeah, I'll live in this situation. It sounds cool. Because...
So, some people would think like that. Some people that have different lifestyles.
Thank you, man. Thank you. That's it.
You didn't word it that way, though.
The way you're saying it, you're trying to pitch it like, would you specifically? Who knows? He probably lives in a nice house. Probably has Wi-Fi, cable TV.
Okay, but I'm talking about, like, you think somebody goes and says, hey, you know what? I want to buy a trailer for me and my family of 4, which is not even a bedroom where we basically have to put a mattress over the dining table and sleep on that.
Or a guy and a girl, young adults say, hey, this is what we'll start off. Over the years, we'll save up.
I agree. A couple, yeah.
We'll have 2 kids.
Get the fuck out of here.
2 boys.
2 boys. We'll raise them in this tiny trailer.
Save up money
until they're 18.
And then go buy a house.
Until they're 18.
Yeah.
And then even past that.
You
ever thought about maybe it's because of necessity, because they have a shitty job?
That's it. But to them, that's probably all they need, their family.
I mean, I'm not saying no. I agree with that part. I mean, it is a possibility.
When I said that some people, who knows, like living in a trailer, I didn't mean, and that's all they could ever want, and they couldn't want better.
No, I agree with that. But
that's
the way you worded it before, made it seem like people just say, you know what, I want to live in a trailer with my 3 kids, or my 2 kids and my husband. I think we're gonna live very comfortable.
Again, without giving details.
Just imagine. Wait. Just imagine. You're taking a shit, and as soon as you open the door, your mom's right there cooking. Like, she has to actually cook while she's smelling your shit.
Or who knows how they have the arrangement? Maybe they don't take.
I've been in there. What do you mean?
So you took a dump while she was cooking?
No, I didn't take a shit.
Oh,
I didn't feel
okay.
comfortable taking a shit.
Okay.
But I mean, the door was right there to the kitchen.
So you assume that they take a dump while their mom's cooking?
You don't think it happens? What you don't think it
Maybe
happens? when
they
you're
have
just like,
courtesy.
dude, I need a
Maybe they
fucking-
have courtesy.
What if they had diarrhea? What if they're like, dude, I need to take a shit?
Oh, I need to take a dump on an empty stomach. No. Maybe she cooks before they eat, and then they go. Now that she's done cooking and washing the dishes.
But what if they had
now
diarrhea
I'll
from
take a
eating
dump.
the school lunch?
What if they did?
Well, exactly. What if that gave them diarrhea? They get home, mom's making dinner. They already got diarrhea because they ate some old pizza, and they're like, "Oh fuck, I'm sorry, mom, but I gotta go take a shit." So your mom's right there making fajitas, while she has to smell your shit, and not just any shit.
Who
It's
says
not
they
a
don't have
regular shit.
Febreze? You're saying they can't afford Febreze?
I'm not saying they can't afford it, you dick. What I'm saying is, I don't think people just willfully say, "Hey, I want to raise my family in this tiny ass trailer."
And I didn't say they willfully say that either. I didn't willfully say they want to raise their kid in that situation. But some people might say, "Look, man, this is all I need. This is all I need, man. My family. Yeah, we live here now, but we'll live in a nice house soon."
That's not how you worded it before.
Okay, dude, but you see, no one else requires to twist and hey, say that again, but say it in a way that I prefer hearing it. No one else requires that. It's just you. They'll be like, you know what? I'll roll with that. Let me add my own 2 cents.
No.
What you do to me is like, I know you just gave you 2 cents, but go back and give me 2 nickels. So it's like your opinion should be more of like what I want to hear.
We'll play it back.
I stand by what I say. That some people might live in that situation. They're like, hey, man, I dig this.
Yes, but that's not how you worded it before.
There you go. Back to how I worded it before.
That's how
Why
you worded
couldn't
it.
you take what I worded and be like,
Because that's not how it sounded.
you're right. And
You made it seem like
circumstance,
you said it like if people wake up one day and say, "Hey, I want to live in a trailer and I want to raise my family there."
And again, that's your interpretation.
That's
not
how
mine.
no. We'll play it back later, but you'll see it and then you'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit, yeah, I probably did word it differently."
No. I stand by how I worded it, bro. It's not.
You stand by how you
it's
word
not-
it now.
It's not up to me how you interpret things.
No,
Just
you
like it's
stand
not
up
up
by-
to you how I interpret your words.
You stand by what
Like
you
I
said now.
have my opinions. My opinion, I stand by that. Some people live in that situation and they're cool with it. They like it. But you're more of the I know that was your opinion, but you gotta kind of say it like how I would want to hear it.
No.
Dude, quote unquote, all I said was some people like living in mobile homes.
No.
I can't fathom the idea of you just going, you know what? Nah, dude, because I'm pretty sure if I pulled every single person in the world that lives in mobile homes,
But it's not a mobile. That's what I'm telling you.
Some people would be like, dude, get me out of this, please.
No,
Please, dude, please.
But it's
Random
not-
guy that knocked on my door to ask me if I like this. Please get me out of here, dude.
Wait, but it's not-
I can't stand living here.
Wait. But it's not a mobile home. It's a trailer.
That comes down to self-determination. Some people like living in townhomes. Some people like living in their mobile homes, trailers,
Mobile homes are
apartments,
way bigger. Mobile homes are way bigger.
condos, McMansions, mansions. But another thing that I didn't say when you made that assumption based on my words was they don't hope for better. But normally I don't have to tell people that.
Who knows?
They just go, hey, you're right. Some people probably do like living in those things. Some people hate it. But that's no longer that's no longer on my desk. Now it's you adding
It's
that.
on your desk.
But yeah, man.
What fucking ever.
My opinion, and then there's your interpretation. But, dude, Kenneka Jenkins, dude, in Chicago, bro.
Wait, we fucking went over we were going over the opioid crisis, dude.
Oh yeah.
What
What's
the
up?
fuck?
What's up with it?
Well, no, now I got to go back to it, but well, yeah, you were mentioning the opioid crisis actually.
Right.
But so I did some research, right? I didn't even know it went that long. I thought this recently started because even when I was going in high school, opioids were barely a thing because they consider even Xanax an opioid.
Dude, I'm so glad I didn't freaking pop pills.
I've never popped. I popped Xanax. But
I've
I
heard
never
of
popped.
Xanax, freaking.
No, not Xanax. Vicodin. I popped Vicodin. I never popped Xanax.
What else do the people say? Percocets,
Percocets, Norcos.
Norcos. What's up with like, man? I don't understand that culture of just popping pills.
I really don't fucking know. People are going overboard on that shit. It's crazy. Did people pop pills back in your days, Jesse?
An ecstasy capsule.
Yeah, see, ecstasy was normal back then.
See, they called them capsules back in the day, man.
Bro, you're saying like if Jesse's a fucking old dude.
No, like just back in the day. Maybe he inherited that term. It's
Okay,
like, hey
good.
man, it's just what my older cousins called it. So now they call them pills.
But anyways, so I did some research on it, right? I did some research on the opioid crisis, and from what I've read, it reads, how did this happen? It says in the late 1990s, pharmaceutical companies reassured the medical community that patients would not become addicted to prescription opioid pain relievers.
Yep.
And subsequently led to widespread diversion and misuse of their medications before it became clear that these medications would indeed be highly addictive. Opioid overdose rates began to increase. In 2017, more than 47,000 Americans died as a result of an opioid overdose, including prescription opioids, heroin, and illicitly manufactured fentanyl, a powerful synthetic opioid. The same year, an estimated 1.7 million people in the United States suffered from substance abuse disorders related to prescription opioid pain relievers, and 652,000 people suffered from a heroin use disorder. Huh.
Dude, so crazy, man. I will say this. You remember that old, it's like a year old, that video of Alex Jones where he was like, like saying like, what's up with China fucking like dumping all these drugs in the southern border in order for them to make their way up to Mexico.
You know it's legal, right?
I mean, the southern border in order for them to make their way up to America.
It's because it's legal.
What do you mean it's
China
legal?
China does it legally. China legally sells fentanyl to the southern border. Like, I didn't know this until I actually did my research.
Yeah.
Recently, Mexico legally buys that fentanyl, and it's not like if the government buys it, but like people in Mexico, and it's so far there's no what's the word for it? Like regulation on it yet. Like, I'm assuming if you just have some sort of permit or whatever, you could just buy it. Like, you could get it delivered to your door. That it's legal. It's legal to that point. Then all you gotta do is give it to whoever actually manufactures the big time drugs. Give it to them, and then they ship it up to the north, to the United States. I tripped out on that too. That, like, as I was doing my research on it, I was like, wait, what the fuck? They could actually legally send it. That's why China sends that shit by the boatload.
Yep.
That these fools send boatload containers worth of fucking fentanyl to the southern border to Mexico, dude, and Mexico just says, thank you, we're shipping it up. And dude, fentanyl has been found in all kinds of shit. Did you know that it's recently becoming a replacement to heroin because it's so much cheaper?
And they added to the heroin. That's what I've heard. That
Yeah,
they added to
it's
heroin.
cheaper. So let's just I fucking forgot how much heroin goes for, but let's just assume they sell it by the gram and they sell it by $20.
Okay.
So a gram of heroin goes for $20. A gram of fentanyl goes for half of that. So just think about it. Would you rather get high on fentanyl? Would you get more for less money, or would you get high on heroin, you know?
I mean, dude.
That's how it is. That's why the same thing happened with cocaine. Cocaine is known as the rich man's drug. Because, dude, you can't get a fucking gram for $20 anywhere. Not even when I was doing that shit. But you could get a gram of crystal meth for $20. That shit is extremely cheap, and the high is even more potent than fucking cocaine. And I speak from experience. I tried that shit before. That shit will put you in the fucking moon. You know? For real, dude. That shit will keep you up for days.
Damn. That sounds like a nightmare, dude. Being up for days off of a fucking...
It is a fucking nightmare, believe me. What's even worse, dude, is the come down, dude. Once the drugs wear off, bro, you feel like complete shit. Which is what leads to addiction when it comes to meth. People can't take... In Spanish, it's called la malia. English, they call it the come down. So basically, bro, once the high is wearing off, when you're off of meth, think about it. You've been up for 2, 3, 4 days. You haven't eaten because you can't eat. Because every time you try eating, the food tastes like shit. It doesn't taste good. So you can't eat it, so you throw it up. So just imagine, you haven't slept, you haven't eaten for the past 3, 4 days. How do you think your body's going to react once the drugs completely wear off your system?
It's like they crave it.
Your body
craves
It's going to fucking attack you from all points. It's going to attack you mentally because, one, you've been sleep deprived. Your body hasn't been nurtured for the past 3 days from food, so your fucking stomach is rumbling like crazy. So a lot of people that become addicted say fuck this shit. I'm not putting up with this. So they hit it again. They hit meth again. They do some more meth. They come right back up, and they don't feel that come down anymore. That's why a lot of people are so addicted to meth.
Because they don't want to go through the come
They don't
down.
want to go through the come down. Like, if you ever ask anybody that has ever done meth, ask them, hey, whenever you get the come down, do you hit it again? They'll be like, fuck yeah, I hit it again. They can't take it. The same thing is with fentanyl. Because now the drugs have become synthetic, like Xanax is synthetic now. Well, I mean, it is synthetic to a degree, but now it's more synthetic because now they add fentanyl in it, which I don't think it had it before. Now people are making it in their backyard with fentanyl, so people get more addicted to that shit.
Dude.
They feel like shit once they're sober, and they're like, fuck this shit, bro. My head's killing me. I'm just going to get high again. They pop another pill, and then what happens? They OD.
It sounds so demoralizing to think about the thousands, if not, I don't know if it could be tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands.
That have died, yeah. So far,
No, no, no.
47,000 Americans have died.
Like, just imagining that many people out there addicted on this shit. Maybe thousands or tens of thousands.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. It's weird. I see it weird because I was never addicted to those types of drugs, you know? I was never a downer, dude. Like, I've always tripped out on how people like doing downers. Like, alcohol and weed is okay. Yeah, I get it. But, dude, have you ever seen anybody on heroin?
No.
Bro, they look like mummies, bro. They act like mummies. Like, you try to talk to them, and they respond to you, like, a couple minutes later. Where you're like, wait, what the fuck? And that's what heroin does to you. Like, heroin basically detaches your body from your brain. Like, you're aware of what you're doing, but you have a super delayed reaction to what you're doing. That's how it is. And it's a fucking trip. I've never been a fan of that. I want to at least know, like, oh, fuck, I'm probably lit as fuck, but I'm aware and I'm alert. Like, hey, man, fuck it. I could respond to you, to whatever you said, you know? But, and that's the same thing with opioids. That's the same thing with the Xanax. Dude, I've seen homies, like, they call Xanax bars. I've seen homies on bars, dude, and they're like this, like, and you're like, dude, how do you enjoy that? How do you enjoy being stuck on stupid?
Or what is it that you're trying to avoid that you would go to that?
Exactly. Like, I was like, what the fuck? But people, for some reason, a lot of people are getting addicted to those types of drugs, to opioids, and it's crazy, you know? Like, I've tried Vicodins, and I've tried Norcos, but it never gave me the urge to say, oh, I want to do it again. I want to do it again. So to me, it's weird, you know? Maybe to the person that is addicted to that, maybe they don't find it weird, but to me it was. Where I was like, I don't see why people are addicted to this over this shit, you know? To me, it's not addictive. To me, it's not something I really enjoyed that high. I want to do it again. It's weird.
Dude.
I find it weird. But from further research on this, what it says also, it says roughly 21 to 29% of patients prescribed opioids for chronic pain misuse them. Between 8 and 12% of people using an opioid for chronic pain develop an opioid use disorder. An estimated 4 to 6% who misuse prescription opioids transition to heroin. About 80% of people who use heroin first misused prescription opioids. And an update here. Among 38 states with prescription opioid overdose death data, 17 states saw a decline between 2017 and 2018. None experienced a significant increase. What a coincidence. Wasn't that when Donald Trump was president?
Think so.
What a coincidence. Huh. Likelihood of developing an opioid use disorder depends on many factors, including length of time a person is prescribed to take opioids for acute pain and length of time that people continue taking opioids, whether as prescribed or misused. Huh. That's very interesting.
What do you think about opioids, Jesse?
Opioids. I'm not too familiar with opioids.
That's a trip.
It is.
And it's something that I've been seeing also is that it's affected a large majority white people.
Yep. That's what I've heard too.
White people are being affected majorly by the opioid crisis. And it says that there've also been an increase in infectious diseases, including HIV and hepatitis C between white people who use opioids. It's just like crack. How was crack for black people back then? That was like the crisis back then in the night. I think it was the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. 90s or 80s.
It reminds me of that joke that Dave Chappelle made about this exact situation.
What?
I don't. I'm not like about to tell a joke like he did, but he was basically like, "Oh, now you know how we felt during the fucking crack epidemic. That now this is like the new fucking crack epidemic, you know, the opioid crisis."
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess this is the new crack epidemic. They're doing the opioid epidemic.
I think all that shit is demoralizing. Just imagining all the people that are up there like strung out on these fucking drugs.
It sucks, dude. Dude, have you seen recently, even out here on the streets, fool, how so many young girls, dude, are hooked on that shit? Like, it's a trip. You see, like, there was this chick that used to live on the block where we used to stay at, dude. I'm assuming right now she's maybe like 19, 20. I'm assuming she's like 19, 20. And she's strung out. Like, dude, she looks like shit. She'd be posting pictures of her doing some weird ass shit where you're like, dude, what the fuck's up with you, dude? And it's like, it's more common to see all these young, like, women being addicted to drugs. It's a trip. Like, before you would see, oh, look, there's a creepy old man who's just out there talking to himself. Remember that Cuban dude that was right there in elementary school that would always talk to himself and wail out there? Dude, now it's more common to see a girl here in the corner strung out, 2 girls here crossing the bridge, a girl under the riverbed. It's a trip.
Think about that all around the country. Think about that at scale.
I don't know, dude. I mean, maybe there has to be numbers. There has to be data. But from what I've seen, it seems like more women are succumbing to drug addiction. That's all I've seen, dude. I've seen so many women. Like, when I go to work, dude, there's one chick I always see every morning, bro. Every morning, crossing the bridge, the LA River.
I know what you're talking about. I see her too.
Every morning. And you're just like, dude, really? Like, and then coming home from work, I saw some girl, dude, that was pushing, like, one of those, like, fucked up carts, dude. And the back, she was wearing, like, I wasn't checking her out. People are gonna think I was checking her out, but she was wearing, like, booty shorts, right? But right under her shorts, like, on her leg, bro, she had, like, a black, purple fucking bruise. I shit you not. It covered, like, this much of the back of her thigh. That ain't normal, dude.
Wait, what does that have to do with drugs?
She was strung out. Like, she was talking to herself as she was doing it.
Oh, okay.
Like, you're like, dude, you're not in pain? Like, you're not feeling that shit? Bro, fucking bruise like this huge. And this girl was walking like if there was no thing. You gotta... She was probably high as shit, not feeling a thing. And probably by the time she got under the bridge...
Not feeling a thing.
Yeah. So, she was probably under the bridge already. Sorry, the hood came out. She was probably under the bridge, and she probably started feeling the sting. And she probably went, I don't know, to Tyrone and said, hey, fool, let me hit that shit real quick.
It just sounded funny, like not feeling a thing. Like that's what people are gonna call being strung out. Yeah, man, not feeling a thing.
I don't fucking know, dude.
But
I haven't kicked it with drug addicts in a while, so I don't know if the lingo changed a little bit.
who knows, man? I don't know. You curious about going to not feel a thing or something?
No,
Dude,
I'm cool with that. I don't want to do that shit no more.
I think the news network is called Wion or Weon, whatever. You know that Indian reporter that I told you look cute? Dude, she came out with this fucking badass breakdown of basically what she's calling it is Xi Jinping's modern cultural revolution.
What do you mean?
You know about Mao?
Yeah, Mao fucked everything
He did his
up.
thing.
He killed all kinds of people.
He did his thing. He wanted to be like a god or whatever.
The Cultural Revolution was basically how Mao was trying to get rid of old Chinese customs, right?
Traditions.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to get rid of. The Cultural Revolution, right? If I'm not mistaken.
The landowners, all that. Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to, push forward the way of the peasant, make everybody equal, but not really, because power was going to be consolidated through him and his favorites or whatever.
Yeah.
But what I'm hearing from this girl now, I forgot her name, oh well, is that what China's going through is it's like almost like a modern cultural revolution under the president today.
Okay.
And she did this badass breakdown of how during the first cultural revolution, when Mao was doing his thing, Xi Jinping was a kid. He was a kid whose dad got beat up because, they kind of saw him as like a traitor to Mao, who at one point he was his advisor. Was just kind of like, it's crazy to think about, like, he's now the president and he's looking at like in the Forbidden City or wherever that place is called in Beijing, like paintings of the guy that didn't treat his dad so well. And now I'm bigger than this guy.
He is.
Because their constitution
Winnie the Pooh is amazing.
Their constitution is not for any kind of worshiping of idols, you know? But basically what he is today to China, it's president slash, remember I told you they call him Big Daddy Xi slash cultural icon, because he has his own propaganda. He has his own, like, you know, like little cartoons, little video games of, like, you know, so he's not just the president. He's almost like a superhero to some people over there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Constitution forbids what he does, what he gets away with. And this chick was she was talking about how, but his power, although it may seem like he's there for life, it's very delicate, the power that you know he stands on. Because even people, and obviously their political party is so secretive. It's
no, like they definitely are.
It's enigma. You don't really hear them bickering back and forth like us. You know, it's everything done behind closed doors. Any disagreements, who knows? They probably have fucking rumbles. Who knows? They probably
get down, huh?
They probably duke it out and shit. But
hey, bro, once this fucking public meeting's over, we're going at
everybody's fucking 30 seconds, bro.
30 seconds. Hey, just so we don't find out we're going body shots, bitch.
But there's like influential members in the party that don't even like him no more.
Huh?
Because it's like, dude, like, not too much. Like, there's high ranking members that aren't even allowed to get visas.
Oh shit.
To you know, fly throughout the world and shit like that and go to other countries. They don't like his attitude towards the West because it's almost too aggressive. It's like you're flat out telling people you accept the fact that we're in a Cold War. You know, we've been trying to do this shit secretively.
Like, we've been trying to do this shit on the low.
Now you're basically saying like that,
it's
you know,
on.
we're number one, and it's just like, dude, this whole time we've been able to cruise. Like, hey, you don't know where we stand.
Nobody notices.
You don't know where we stand. Like, hey, are we that powerful? Are we not? Blah, blah, blah. Like, he's flat out. China's number one. You know, China 2045 or whatever. Like, all the projects that he's out in the public with, right? That speech that he made where he basically wore fucking Mao's suit, what they call the Mao suit.
Yeah.
And he's basically saying, like, anybody that opposes the party is gonna be met with a bloody face, and you'll deal with the blood of a billion fucking Chinese people and shit like that. So there's people in that party, education purpose only supposedly, that are just like, dude, this guy's an idiot. Like, not that brash. Secretive.
Relax, bro.
We've done this secretively for decades, and now that you feel like the hot shit, you're being all beating your chest about it. You know?
Hey, well, they fucked up because he put him there.
Yeah. It's a lot of things. He surprised a lot of people.
Yeah.
Even to me, I'll admit he is an enigma. Yeah. Because of how, like, his story, I don't like their views, but it is a crazy come up story.
Yeah, dude. Like, dude, as soon as they said, here are the keys, dude, they gave him. This one said, I'm taking them.
Yeah.
He turned on the car and hit the gas quick because he got rid of all his fucking, like, opponents, dude. And not just that, he didn't just get rid of them, dude. He told everybody, I'm getting rid of them because of corruption. What did people do? They fucking cheer him on, like, oh my god, I can't believe you're cleaning up the Communist Party, you know? When in fact he was just doing it like, nah, fuck that, I gotta get rid of this ASAP, you know? Because if I give him an armful, he's gonna take my whole leg. But the thing is, he polarized it to said, hey, everybody I've been getting rid of is for the benefit of China because they were corrupt. Mm-hmm. When in fact he was a corrupt asshole. Like, I gotta give him credit for that. Like, bro, he played that shit smart.
I give him credit because I don't know how the hell you go from fucking being malnourished in the fucking countryside, feeding pigs, you know, living in a fucking cave, to now you're the president of 1.4 billion.
You're the big boss.
Like, how?
You're Big Daddy G.
But whatever. But what is happening, some of the things that are happening, they're coming down on their tech companies, which I don't understand that. I don't understand that because I would think if I'm in control...
Wait. They're coming down their own tech companies?
Yeah. There's a company...
Coming down Huawei?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if it was Huawei they got in trouble, but it was one of their ride sharing companies. It's a one fucking term word.
We ride.
No, I don't. I swear it's just like one fucking.
It's their fake Uber, basically.
Basically, it's their fake Uber, but they got fucking dealt with because they weren't being careful with people's private information over there in China. So, but
I thought their information wasn't necessarily private.
The thing I don't understand is the progress you make in trying to compete with countries like America, Japan maybe, but countries like America, and then you come down on your own tech companies. I get on one side, it's to show people, hey, don't forget, we're number one, the party's above all. But it's like, how much of your economy do you hurt by doing things like that? Because they're willing to pull the rug under anybody.
They're willing to go, hey, too bad for you're done.
Yeah, which I'd be like, do I do that? Because it's our economy. That's what I'm trying to pump up. Get people into the cities. People, go get some wealth.
That's not,
and then retire in the countryside.
When you put it that way, yeah, you're kind of right. Like,
but these guys are like, dude, there's the rug. Fuck you. Like, it's us before anybody.
They said, hey, we don't give a fuck. Fuck you.
You mentioned how they're closing a bunch of private universities and schools.
Yeah.
Because they
need blue collar workers again.
But that allows freedom of thought, freedom of expression. People will be like, hey, why don't we act like the West? They've made progress. Why don't we get a little bit like them? So it doesn't make drones. It doesn't make people that will just obey every command,
You're right. It's a trip.
So they're coming down on universities, private schools, things like that. Also, what you mentioned about them needing, you said blue collar workers.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of things that they're banning English. In some places, they're banning the teaching of English.
No, I know that. Yeah, they banned. I heard that they banned the study of foreign languages too.
They're taking away tutors, the ability for tutors to make money. They're basically saying you gotta do that shit for free now.
And it's crazy because most tutors are foreign. Most tutors are foreign. They go to teach a foreign language to people, to those upper middle class people or people with money. That's what most tutors do. They go and teach a foreign language. That's what I've read. That fucking sucks.
So it's kind of like where we are today. This guy's willing to say, dude, I'll take this shit back to the 60s if I have to. I'll fucking starve another 20 million.
Hey, bro, we'll go back to riding horses. I don't give a fuck.
You guys thought Mao was bad, bro. You guys don't even know some of my ideas, bro.
Oh, you like those Neo-electric cars, food? Too bad, bro.
We'll go back to the fucking telegram if we have to, bro.
We're going back to steam engines, fool. Fuck, you got to crank the engine if you want to start it. But then we're like, fuck with me, bitch. Try me.
But it gets me curious. Like, dude, how? Like, I mean, some leaders are willing to go back to. Bro, we'll go back to the Stone Age if we have to.
For real. Hey, you like rubber tires? Fool, good luck with that.
We'll go back to being fucking single cell organisms if we have to, bro.
I don't know, dude. It's like sometimes is your thing that bad, bro? That your ego that bad that you're willing to throw it all away, all the progress you've made in your country, just to prove a point. But
do you get where I'm scratching my head? Because at one point it seems like this guy's saying, dude, no matter what it takes, we have to be number one as far as economics. And now he's singing the tune of, if it takes me crushing part of our economy in order for you guys to know and for the rest of the world to see that nothing surpasses the party here, I'll do it. I'll do it.
It's stupid though,
It's fucking weird.
Yeah, because you're gonna go from being number 2 to being number 4 again.
Yeah, it's weird, man. I thought I had that guy figured out. Now I don't know what's up with that guy, man. I don't know what his plan is.
I don't fucking know. It's a trip. But I think, I don't know. I think he is a smart guy in a sense, but at the same time, he just surprising us to the point where you're just like, fuck. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see what comes up from it. But we're switching the topic real quick because this is something we did talk about. We have been talking about for the past 2 weeks.
Dude.
The Kenneka Jenkins case. I was about to say Johnson. Fucking, it's right in front of me. Yeah, the Kenneka Jenkins case. I heard about it. I read about it. I always thought it was fishy, but you're the one that made me put on my Sherlock Holmes hat and actually investigate, my dear Watson. So, how much have you discovered regarding the case?
Well, I was there at work maybe like 2 weeks ago, and then a random video just popped up on my feed on YouTube. So I was like, oh, I'll click it. It's a guy I've heard about, Vlad TV. No. It wasn't Vlad TV. It was Zach TV.
Zach TV.
Yeah. And rest in peace, Zach TV, man. But
Yeah, he didn't deserve it.
it was just crazy because it was him driving his car, and some woman called him. And she was basically telling him, like, oh, leave the case alone. Like, it's not worth it. They're watching you and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, I'm tripping out because you don't know about me. I've been to the hood. I shoot music videos or I shoot videos for, like, a bunch of people all over. People that have enemies and stuff like that. No one's ever really, like, I've never been under threat like this. I've never really feared for my life. I think he said something like, yo, you actually got me scared. Like, this is the shit I've done before, and no one's got me like this right now. And then I watched another video where a guy warned him. And that's when even me, I was like, what the hell? Like, I already know that this guy passed away, but I never knew why. So I was like, wait, does him being curious about this case have something to do with it? Cause
So there is that possibility that because he was so invested in the case, they took him out for it.
that is something I thought. But then I read elsewhere that it was just because he recorded a video with some guy that had enemies. And so those enemies thought, oh, well, if you're his friend and that's our we hate this guy or whatever, so we don't like you.
You
and
fuck with him, so we're gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Then
So
again,
there's that possibility.
then again, there is a possibility they just put that story out there so people could assume, well, the guy is in Chicago and it is Chirac. People get killed every day. Maybe they did kill him for that.
Yeah, it's possible. What do you think it was?
I don't know. But then again, I love conspiracies, so I'm leaning more into the conspiracy side. But it's only because of the stuff I've read. So I'm gonna do a little presentation again. I got this article off of Penn State. They're one of their websites. So basically, it's titled "The Case of Kenneka Jenkins." So it goes as follows. This week's case is one that I find truly mind-boggling, and I think a lot of you will be quite interested in finding out the truth. We will be focusing on 19-year-old Kenneka Jenkins, who was found dead inside a latched freezer in the Crowne Plaza Chicago O'Hare Hotel on September 8th, 2017. Holy shit, I didn't know it was that long. Anyways, Jenkins was attending a party at Crowne Plaza Chicago O'Hare Hotel with friends, celebrating another friend's birthday, as seen on various social media posts from that night. Kenneka's family was unaware of the misfortune that had happened at that party until they were contacted by Kenneka's friends hours later. They had lost track of Kenneka's whereabouts. With no clues leading where she might be, her family pleaded with the hotel to release the surveillance footage from that night. 24 hours after Kenneka's disappearance, her body was found in the hotel's kitchen walk-in freezer. She was found lying face down on her side with one shoe off. No trauma was present except for a small cut on her foot. The question that remained seemed endless. How did she end up in the freezer? Was she stuck? If so, why didn't she use the emergency latch inside the freezer? Inside the freeze that's supposed to prevent incidents like this. Not long after the news of her death went public, people began theorizing about what actually happened. People even looked into the hotel's reviews, pointing out that the alleged mistakes multiple staff members had made, which included a staff member giving a strange man the key to one guest's room. The official medical examiner's report found her death to be accidental. At the time of her death, Jenkins was extremely intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of 0.112. I don't know if that's high.
I don't even know.
What's the legal limit? 0.008, right? Or 0.08?
So I don't even know. Jesse, do you know what the legal limit is?
0.08, right?
I want to say 0.08.
I think it's 0.08.
0.08 sounds right. 0.08
Yeah.
sounds right.
Yeah, 0.08 sounds way too low. And had topiramate, a drug used to treat epilepsy and migraine headaches. Damn, she was getting high as fuck in her system, even though it was never prescribed to her. It was known that topiramate and alcohol can enhance the effects of both when taken together, and can hasten the onset of hypothermia, which was confirmed as the reason for her death. So she froze to death, allegedly. While the Rosemont Police Department did not suspect foul play, they had stated that their investigation was not closed, further inciting others to speculate. Eventually, the hotel released the surveillance footage, which showed Kanika wandering the hallways with her friends before cutting to her stumbling near the front desk at 3:20 a.m. There was also motion detecting security cameras in the kitchen, which showed her rounding the corner towards the freezer, but the freezer door itself was out of camera sight. Jenkins' friends' stories had remained inconsistent as to what actually happened to her after the party. They had mentioned that Jenkins had gone downstairs with some people, but they left her alone to go and retrieve a cell phone from one of the hotel rooms. Janika's family attorney, Jeffrey Feger, filed a $50 million lawsuit against the hotel and others. The photos taken at the crime scene were displayed, and he had suggested someone may have inadvertently locked the freezer door. MTV's True Life Crime did an episode on the case and ultimately led more people to discover it and more questions. What are your thoughts on the case?
Dude, one thing that is crazy is there was blood on her.
On her foot.
There's blood on her foot.
Just one cut on her foot.
Her clothes where it looked like somebody had like tugged on them and shit like that.
A little bit. I mean, if have you seen the pictures?
I have.
Yeah, the pictures. Yeah, I mean, she looks frozen solid, and it doesn't look like they were trying to, assault her sexually. It doesn't look like it because her clothes are on, but at the same time,
it looks like there was a struggle.
Like a struggle, yeah.
But I will say this: what I have heard of,
it looks like she was dragged on the floor.
What I have,
her clothes are dirty.
Well, it looks like she fell. I don't know about dragged on the floor. To me, I don't know if I could say, yeah, it looks like she was dragged.
No, I know.
But definitely, obviously, and they found her laying down.
Yeah.
When you die, you don't just stand up straight,
That's a lie.
But what?
That's a lie. I don't know if you remember that dude that got smoked on our block. He died standing up.
What do you mean he died standing up?
They shot him up and he died standing up. He didn't fall on the ground. He was standing up, dead. Dude, we were like 10 when that happened.
They found him
dead, standing
up.
He was dead. He had fucking holes in him. Dead. Oh shit, dead, and he's standing up, but dead. He's like standing up. They had to lay his body on the fucking gurney. He was fucking dead.
He wasn't leaning on anything.
No, he was standing up, dead.
Okay, well that's an exception, but the rule.
Yeah, the rule.
The rule. I've never heard of that. To be honest, I have never heard of nobody. But
that's the only time I've heard somebody standing.
Yeah, what a
dead on their feet. For that,
crazy.
This fool got shot up and he was on his feet, dead.
Damn.
I was like, fuck.
But the rule is, you've collapsed or whatever.
Your body gives out, you collapse.
So, and what I've heard about hypothermia is that at the last moments before death, the body just overheats.
Yeah, you get naked.
Yeah, and people they'll rip their clothes off. I've heard people. Where the fuck was a story that some guy that fucking died of hypothermia? He ran off and he was ripping his clothes off as he ran and then died soon after.
Yeah, they say that most people that die, the majority of people that die from hypothermia, and they end up finding them naked.
And I will say this: I'm not gonna say oh, I nearly died or whatever. But one time when I was younger,
I nearly died.
One time when I was younger, I went ice skating. For anybody that doesn't know, it gets really cold when you go ice skating. Whatever.
You got hypothermic ice skating, fool?
I think I got something in the scale of when you get to hypothermia.
So you got thermic
because I wore a really big coat. I was really warm. On the bottom, I wore jeans.
Okay.
But I wore 4 or 5 layers, and I just remember I could feel myself sweating because I was freaking really trying to ice skate and go fast and all this. So I could feel that I was sweating. And at one point, I got this crazy itch all around me. My face started sweating, and I wanted to rush. And I remember just unzipping everything because I felt like I'm overheating, like my body's overheating. Naturally, we're warm-blooded. I did enough activity. They got me sweating, and I got all these layers on me.
Yes.
I have now stopped. I want to go sit down, so I was away from the ice. So I just remember just trying to sit there, and I felt this crazy, nasty feeling. And I remember just panicking and unzipping all 4 or 5 layers that I was wearing.
That's not necessarily hypothermia.
I'm not calling it hypothermia, but whatever that was, I can only imagine what it is when you're near death.
Okay. Okay.
I
And
did say I'm not saying I nearly died. What I'm saying is I felt something crazy
Yeah.
when I got to the sweating point, and when I tried to fucking go.
You went into panic mode.
And I just remember feeling this nasty like heat all over my body, like they got me squirming. I was like freaking like unzipping, and I was wearing like 4 or 5 layers.
No, I've only had that happen to me once. Yeah, I've only had that happen to me once. That's gotta be, I don't know. That's gotta be crazy. But going back to Kanika, you have him before you.
Yeah.
I actually pulled some conspiracy theories that I found online. So this comes from Shamika Sanders, at Shamika Sanders from, I think this was Hello Beautiful, I think. The website was Hello Beautiful. Oh yeah, she's a deputy editor of Hello Beautiful, and this was posted in 2018 on September 7th. So, according to the Cook County Medical Examiner, Kanika died from hypothermia with alcohol and a drug used to treat epilepsy and migraines listed as significant contributing factors. So according to them, they say it was a contributing factor to her death, but not necessarily her death. Her death was ultimately ruled an accident, but that didn't stop amateur sleuths who sought to solve the case from conjuring up countless conspiracy theories that explained what Chicago detectives couldn't. So, I'll read Conspiracy 1, you can follow.
For sure.
So Conspiracy 1, she was being raped while her families were on Facebook Live. What the fuck? So Kenneka Jenkins was partying with her friends on the 9th floor of Crown Plaza Chicago O'Hare Hotel and Conference Center in Rosemont before she disappeared. After a vigorous search, friends were unable to find Kanika and called her mother, Teresa Martin, to see if she had returned home because they couldn't find her. Hours later, a Facebook Live showing Kanika's last moments was discovered on a friend's page. Viewers believed that they could hear what sounded like a woman's moans and screams in the background and that it was Kanika crying out for help. Kanika could be seen in the reflection of her friend's sunglasses, but reports that she was being sexually assaulted proved to be unfounded. So it's not confirmed, but it's not disproven either.
I have seen that video though, and I was trying to hear what people were mentioning, like what people were saying, like, and me personally, I didn't hear what people are claiming that you could hear in the background.
So you couldn't hear moans or...
Me, I couldn't hear somebody that it was that she was crying out for help. I couldn't hear that.
But you're able to hear moans and stuff
No.
like that? No? Huh.
You?
I haven't seen it. I didn't even know there was a video. Her friend Irene Roberts opened up about the night Kanika went missing in an hour-long interview. According to Irene, they were all leaving the hotel with Kanika, who was drunk. When they left the room, she realized she left her phone and keys in the room. When they went back to find her belongings, Kanika slipped away. Huh.
Yeah, but I remember seeing that video, trying to look and just find the spots, rewinding and all that, and I was just like, dude, I feel like I'm not cooperating with something, you know, because
Really?
people are saying like, oh, you can clearly hear it, you can clearly hear it. She
I
was
might
crying
have
for
seen
help.
it, bro, but I don't remember it.
And I remember I seen like other videos, and it really did seem, people are trying to say that it was foul play on her friends, that they conspired, and which is actually conspiracy number 2.
I believe that. I believe that as a possibility.
A possibility, but from what I see, like obviously in those tapes, it doesn't tell the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't see like anything that would give me like malicious intent on anybody, malicious like, oh, that looks like that guy, or like she was like had anything to do with the setup. It just looked like a bunch of teenagers
Bullshitting.
trying to have fun.
Huh.
Which I guess I hear is what, you know, kids in the area do. Like they get hotel rooms like through the help of older people and just party in the hotel rooms, you know?
Yeah, I used to get momos with the homies. I'd just give them the money. And dude, but that was when fucking motels cost like $60. And then like $1.20. Fuck that. I'd have to take them under the bridge.
But yeah, conspiracy number 2 is that her friends helped set her up.
Hmm.
So it's like, it says the theory began circulating, pointing to Kanika's friends. According to this narrative, her friends set her up to be raped for money. The incident turned fatal and she was murdered, then dumped in the freezer. While this would explain why her clothing appeared to be falling off her body, it was debunked by surveillance footage that showed Kanika walking alone. I remember seeing that. She was just
she was walking
stumbling.
alone on that shit.
I was like, that girl looks clearly drunk.
She out of it. She's on something.
So it was debunked by surveillance footage that showed Kanika walking alone. Skeptics bombarded her friends Irene and Monifa Shelton's social media pages, leading to Shelton posting an emotional message about their friendship. Can y'all please leave me alone, bro? We've been best friends since the 3rd grade. We did everything. We slept together. So she was basically giving her side of the story, saying, leave me alone. It feels like harassment. You guys are all harassing me. You know? I don't.
call ourselves the Nene
I don't.
twins.
I don't remember seeing any of those, like any kind of interviews with people that she knew that were being
I never saw that either.
blamed for setting her up.
I never saw that either. Huh. But I do look. There always is the possibility that the friends could set you up, bro. There is always that possibility. Because I'm telling you, growing up, dude, when I was growing up with the homies, I was always thinking like, oh, bro, we're homies. You know, we always got each other's backs. But, dude, you'd find out your homie was trying to smoke you because you were fucking his baby moms. And that's supposed to be your homie, bro. That's supposed to be a dude you grew up with for years. But then it turns out, well, he wants to set you up because you fucked his baby moms.
He should definitely not smoke you, but you're trying to, like, okay, now I'm turning this what you do on you. It sounds like you're saying, like, hey, bro, just let me fuck his baby moms. Like, you should totally
No, I'm not saying that.
Definitely don't smoke people.
Yeah, but do you really gotta smoke him for that?
No.
Yeah, it's like, dude,
No.
I would if you fucked my baby moms, I would have smoked you for
But
it.
you sounded it like you're like, dude, like everybody fucks everybody's baby moms,
Well,
bro.
there,
like,
yes, there, everybody was fucking everybody's baby moms. It was a normal thing. I never fucked anybody's baby moms.
I don't know if that's the norm.
It was the norms with the homies. I never fucked their baby moms.
What
I was
people
into
are you
that
hanging
shit.
out with that everybody's
Bro,
smashing
the
each
fucking
other's?
same gang members we lived with. What are you talking about?
Everybody's
I
just-
kicked them more. I kicked it with them more though.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't really kick it with gang.
I
members.
always kicked it with them.
So everybody just smashing everybody's baby moms.
They do it behind each other's backs. Or while one was busted, fool, you'd find out like, oh look, it turns out fucking Cynthia's piping out fucking little creeper over here.
'Cause I will say this-
wait. Isn't Cynthia fucking his big homie's baby mom's? Yeah. Isn't he locked up? Yeah. And he's fucking her?
Again, to elaborate, I'm not saying you should be able to smoke someone just because they're smashing your baby
No,
moms.
they shouldn't.
Educational purposes only.
Educational purposes only.
But the way you said it was like, come on, like I just smashed your baby moms. Like,
I mean, yes
what's the
and
big
no.
deal?
I mean, it is a big deal because, bro, that's your homie. How are you going to fuck your homie's baby mom? But at the same time, it's not a big deal to go ahead and smoke him for it.
What do you mean? That's a huge deal.
You'd
What the
kill
hell?
somebody for fucking your baby moms?
No, I'm saying it's a huge deal to take someone's life.
Yes. What I'm saying is it's not. What I'm saying is it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
Enough for you to do some shit like that.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well yeah.
Yes. Like it's not much of a big deal to go ahead and be like, well, because you fuck my baby moms, you're getting smoked. No. What I'm saying is it is a big deal when you fuck her, but it shouldn't be much of a big deal to the point where you want to kill the man. Right?
Yeah. Don't kill people. Period.
Yeah, and that's what. Yes, don't kill people. Period. I'm not advocating for killing people. What I'm saying that is I believe that there always is that possibility that your friends turn on you and your friends want to fucking set you up, which is why I'm saying that theory of her friends turning on her isn't far fetched. It is very plausible.
For the record, though, now I'm raising my eyebrow at you, though.
What?
Yeah, man, you trying to like say it's normal to just be smashing everybody's baby mom?
It's not normal. No, that's not what I'm saying. I mean,
Nah, it's just that's the way you're coming at me when I say.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Like if
some people think it's cool to live in trailer homes.
No.
But all right, let's continue with the story. Let's continue.
We'll
with the story.
continue it. I'm not even going to there. Anyways, but yeah, I do think it's possible for your homies to fucking set you up and kill you.
Right? Yeah.
If they like living in trailer homes or not. But I digress. Conspiracy 3, it's a cover-up.
Mm-hmm.
So Teresa Martin believes that there was foul play involved in the death of her daughter. According to Martin, hotel employees wouldn't check security footage within the first hours Kanika went missing. And when they released the crime scene photos of Kanika's body were released to the public, the position of her body and disheveled clothing raised what her mother said was more questions than answers. The horrific images show Kanika's shirt lifted up, her pants pulled down, and a shoe missing. She also had abrasions on her foot and one side of her body. Martin appeared on the Dr. Oz show where Oz attempted to explain why Kanika's clothing could have been affected by the hypothermia with a phenomenon called paradoxical undressing. According to Oz, someone suffering fatal hypothermia may feel rush of heat when they attempt to undress themselves. However, he stated, more than likely it's not what happened, but it's a possibility. There has been no resolve why her clothing appeared that way. So see, I mean, Dr. Oz is a legit doctor from what I've read. He might be full of shit most of the time. So I guess it is a normal thing to fucking undress yourself when you're having hypothermia. So there is also that possibility. It's very interesting.
There is conspiracy number 3. That someone followed her into the freezer. Which, I don't know about you, but I have seen some of the footage of her like stumbling through the hotel room. I don't see anything in those. Obviously, it's what they released. Obviously, I don't know what could have been like withheld.
But they do say, sorry to interrupt you, but they do say that the video didn't show the freezer doors, right?
Yeah, I didn't see no footage of no freezer doors.
Yeah, they said they don't show the freezer doors. So isn't it also a possibility that somebody was already there? Like, let's say somebody was already there. It could be the possibility that she said, "Oh, I'm going to go for my phone or whatever. Let's go back for my phone." She's all shit faced, and then one of her homegirls, Monifa, tells her, "Oh, it turns out homeboy has it, and he's downstairs on this side." She goes. The camera ain't catching anybody there. Where he was waiting, where he probably could have gone through another door that probably had no cameras, and that's where took her out. Because that is one thing they always pointed out, that there was no camera pointing at the freezer door. Like, you can't see the freezer door at all. So there is a possibility to that, right?
Possible, but is that probable?
I don't know, because I don't know how much footage they showed. Because from what we've seen, they only show the footage of her walking to there, right?
Right. So you're right. But don't you think it would take someone that knows where the cameras are placed, that knows how they can maneuver, where they can stand to not appear in the footage?
Well, it could also have been an employee, right?
It could have been an employee.
It could have been an employee that actually worked there and said, "Hey," because remember what we said, there are adults that get rooms for minors.
Yes.
So it could have been an employee that got the room for them so they could go party, and said, "Hey, well, hook me up." He was probably a weirdo and was probably into young girls. And he probably said, "Hey, hook me up with one of your homegirls." So there's a possibility one of them said, "Oh, well, I got my friend over here, Kanika, who'll be down. Just let me get some booze in her system or whatever, and she'll go." So he said, "All right, meet me over here. Tell her to meet me here, and we'll do our thing." Homegirl probably send her. She goes, not knowing what to expect. Sees this dude over here trying to take advantage of her, and she was not down with that. So he said, "Fuck this, I'm killing her."
Yeah. I don't think it's likely, but like you said, it is possible.
Yeah, because then he could easily, if he had a homie in who was security, or even if he had access to the videos, he could have easily just taken him out, right? How common is it to, when people do investigations, they're looking for video evidence, the person that actually owns the tape say, "Oh, well, they're deleted," and you can't do anything. You can't literally go and say, "Prove it to me that they're deleted." You need a warrant. So by the time you actually go get a warrant and come back and say, "Here, I'm serving you the warrant. I need to double check that those tapes didn't record anything," that fool, by that time, he already deleted everything. So I feel like it is a possibility that it was a cover-up, but it could be also somebody that worked there that probably did the dirty deed, did that horrible act on her, and had enough time to go back to the tapes, just delete where he comes through there, and it only shows her going by herself.
It's possible, yeah. Again, but I don't know, man. I don't know how likely that is for him to also not leave any kind of like trace behind, any kind of like evidence they can pinpoint it back to him.
Well, think about it. How much time he had on his hands?
How much
or she? He or she? We got to be inclusive.
How much time do you think they had on their hands?
Who knows? Because she was missing for 24 hours, right? Before they found her.
It was something like 24 hours.
I think it was like 24 hours. So you're telling me...
Wait, being reported missing?
Yeah, I think they reported her missing after 24 hours.
No, I don't think so. I think her mom came to the hotel early in the morning, and the cops... I think it was the cops that tried to tell her, "Oh, we have to wait until she's been missing for 24 hours." Because I remember seeing an interview that she had with a local radio station in Chicago, and they told her that, and she was talking about like how sometimes you have to put pressure on these cops, because if you leave it up to them, they'll just like string you along. They'll play dumb. She goes, "I had to let them know, like, hey, my daughter is really missing, and I really need you guys to help out." So like begrudgingly, they were like, "Oh, all right, all right, all right."
My fucking guess.
So they went back on their words, kind of like saying like, "Oh, you have to wait 24 hours." That's where I was like, "Wait, so you don't have to wait 24 hours? Like you can put like you can like demand like I need your cooperation. We can't wait until she turns up for you to be like, oh yeah." Hey,
it's because the thing
24 hours.
is the thing is the majority of the time, it's just somebody that ran away from home for the meantime because they go, I'm mad at my mom, so they don't take those serious. They don't. I did that with my nephew when that motherfucker ran away from home when he was like 14, and they were like, oh, well, you gotta wait. I think it was like 48 hours they made me wait before I report him missing. Fucker ended up coming up like a day later, but yeah, those fools won't do it. Unless I think they have to be like 13 and under, I think, where they'll actually take it serious. Well, you don't have to wait the 48 hours and they'll just go. But I think if it's 13 and over, they'll say, oh, he's probably just mad or whatever, because they busted that shit on me. So I do believe that part. They busted that shit on me. But I continue with conspiracy number 4.
There's no number 4. You have 4?
Well, yeah, but they
right,
doubled it.
Right,
they
right.
fat fingered that one, but it's number 4. Let me see. It says someone followed her to the freezer. Public demand for footage of Kenneka Jenkins before her death reached the climax after Chicago activist Andrew Holmes held a press conference claiming he saw footage of Kanika physically walking into the freezer and not coming out. Quote, the important part of this we always wondered and wanted to know, did anybody pull her down there? Did anybody force her to go down there? Was anybody on the other side in the room when she got down there? And the answer is, that is no, unquote. Holmes said at the press conference. Detectives released that footage to the public afterwards, but it didn't show Kanika walking in the freezer like Holmes suggested. What their surveillance did show was Kanika drunkenly stumbling around the halls of the hotel. The video ends with the intoxicated teen walking in a deserted kitchen area, but not into the freezer, which added to theories detectives were covering up a murder.
That was fucking weird. Because I remember the mom saying that the detective came to her and said, I saw the footage of your daughter walking into the freezer.
Really?
Yep. She said that in the interview with the local radio station. And then when she asked to see that footage, it was no, like, they were like, oh,
They acted
what footage?
stupid on it.
Yeah, like, what footage?
What?
That's when she started fearing, like, for her life. When they told her, like, we need you to come down to the station. She was like, I'm not going alone.
Really?
Yep.
Shut the fuck up, for real?
Yep.
I didn't know it got that bad. Dude. Think about it, bro. What goes in your mind if you make a public statement saying, hey, these officers told me that they saw this regarding my daughter's case? Then they ask him, because most likely what happened is they probably asked him, they interviewed him, and they said, hey, Kenneka Jenkins' mom said that you told him you saw the footage, and he probably said no, right? I'm pretty sure that's how it played out. He probably said, no, I didn't say shit. And then now they tell you, hey, come on down. I think we want to talk to you. I'd probably be shitting bricks too.
So it's like, who's lying?
Yeah. Fuck.
It's fucking weird. All right, and conspiracy number 5, it's that the footage was altered. So after police released footage of Kanika meandering, is that what it says? Meandering through the halls, skeptics weren't satisfied with the conclusion. They believe the footage was edited to cover up her murder. Several videos popped up on YouTube suggesting someone else can be seen following Kanika before the angles switch. Some even suggested the red lines on the footage prove there's another person in proximity. That thing is what I don't understand. What they mean by red lines.
Do you know anything about red lines?
I've never heard of it.
That's weird. Red lines in proximity. I don't know. That's odd. See, but what do you make of this? What do you make of these conspiracies? Do you think any of these here are possible or not?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I think of every single one of these one by one. Look, conspiracy number 1: that she was being raped while her friends were on Facebook Live. I don't believe that.
I don't believe that one either.
I don't believe that, and that connects to conspiracy 2.
That she was raped, yes, possibly, but not there, not on that occasion. I feel like it could be possible in the freezer. It could have been possible in the freezer, but I don't think it was in Facebook
But you
Live for
believe
her
that?
friends.
Do you believe that it took place in the freezer?
I believe it's a possibility. It took place. In the
Okay, well, I
freezer.
believe it's a possibility
Because
too.
the reason why I highly doubt she was sexually assaulted was probably because she was fully clothed.
Okay, well, we both believe that it's a possibility, but do you think
Yes.
it happened in the freezer?
I don't think it happened. No.
I don't believe conspiracy number 1, or rather, I don't think that's what happened, and that directly connects to number 2, that her friends set her up. that her friends knew that was ongoing, or worse, knew that was going to happen?
I feel like it's a possibility. It is plausible. I don't think it happened though.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case too.
What about 3? That it's a cover-up.
I do think it's that. Look, right now, like I said, I got my Sherlock Holmes hat on right now, so I'm giving you my full, detailed theory, and through my investigations, what I think happened. So I'm going by a step-by-step process here. So 1, homegirl got drunk, homegirl got drugged, and she was having a good time, right? I don't know. Have you ever been to motel parties?
No.
Or hotel parties? Okay.
Hotel parties, yes, but not motel.
Okay. Well, sometimes you like to go out when you're drunk, fuck around down the halls, run around like idiots, and then come back in. Tee hee hee, we just did this, right?
No.
I don't know if you did that. Okay,
No.
well, we did that. I'm assuming they were doing that. They were running down the halls. Somebody caught her eye. Somebody said, hey, I like how that looked. I think I want that. There is a possibility that they wanted to say, hey, I'm going to try to go for it. See if I can. If I can't, then I'm going to force my way to it. So, I'm thinking that person went to one of the friends and said, hey, I think your friend is very attractive. Tell her to meet me here. And here, I'll break you off for spreading the word.
That same night?
That same night.
Okay, that same night.
Because they're still partying, you know? They're all partying. They're all drugged out. This will probably say, I'll give you fucking, you know, I'll give you some blunts, or I'll give you some money for some weed or whatever.
To hook me up, or to...
To, like, talk to her.
Okay.
You know, tell your homegirl that I like her or whatever, or to meet me up or whatever. The homegirl probably is doing it innocently. She's probably saying, hey, you know, this fool gave me some money just to go spread the word. Like, hey, this guy thinks you're attractive, or this guy wants to meet up. Go meet with him, you know? She probably did it innocently. I don't think she got set up by her friend.
Okay.
And then it probably went. She probably said, hey, fuck it, let's go check it out. She went downstairs by herself, went over there by the freezer.
Okay, but see, that doesn't make sense to me, how a friend would hook her up, and it's, yeah, some guy that...
I'm going into the assumption.
It's
I'm going into the
somewhere.
assumption. This is like I said, this is all conspiracy.
But even a conspiracy, does this make sense to you?
It is.
I think even a conspiracy, if I follow conspiracy, somewhere along the line, it has to make sense.
Yeah, but sometimes it won't make sense. Sometimes you're just like, wow, it really happened like that. Like, you'd be surprised. Sometimes it would happen like that. Like, there's this one case about some dude that in Alaska, he would actually trick people into going with him, and then he'd hunt them down in Alaska for sport. And he did it just for sport, where he would actually sometimes pay people to be like, hey, tell her I'm interested or whatever, and they wouldn't think anything of it because the person didn't look like the type of guy. He didn't look like a weirdo. He didn't look like somebody that would kidnap you, throw you in a plane, fly you off in a remote area of Alaska, and then let
But do you
you
think
loose
it
to
happened
where
that same night? You think that he was just like, hey, let's go to Alaska
I feel like-
tonight?
No, not Alaska. No.
And, you know, we just met.
No, see,
but
you're taking that
it's-
story and you're putting it into this one. No. What I'm saying is, what is a possibility is he
Yeah.
probably told one of the friends.
Right. I
He or
followed
she.
you up to that point, but once you said that after that, she went by herself and was like, yeah, I'll go meet this random guy that I
Okay,
haven't
but remember,
seen.
she's intoxicated.
Right, but even that, yeah.
She's intoxicated. So not everybody thinks logically. So you're not.
But the friend, at what point do you think the friend just goes, he's somewhere?
They're intoxicated. That's the thing. They're partying. They're intoxicated. Not everybody thinks logically when they're not intoxicated. Not everybody does. I'm going under the assumption that they don't think logically when they're under the influence of drugs and alcohol. I'm going under that assumption. So I'm assuming they're drugged up, they're partying, and the dude just said innocently, like, hey, you know, he probably didn't come off as a creep. How many?
I never even said he came.
No,
off
I
as
know,
a
I know.
creep.
He probably didn't come off as a creep. Look at Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was a very fucking out there guy and very charismatic, where people never thought he was a fucking serial killer. That could have been here. You know, the guy came out with super high energy and very confident and very flattering, or her, and they were like, hey, you know, this person, you know, wants to meet up with you, and fuck it, go fuck with him or whatever. She probably said, yeah, let's go do it. And then she probably went, followed, and then just they let her have it, you know? Like killed her, let her have it.
Mhm.
That's what I feel like. That's the possibility. That's where I see how it happened. Then homeboys come, they find out he's related to somebody that's actually in law enforcement. Said, "Fuck, if this gets out, we're fucked," and they had to cover it up. Because it is very suspicious that the fucking officer says, "Hey, yes, we saw this footage," but then right after backtrack and said, "I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. I never said anything."
So that's what you think.
That's
happened.
what I think happened.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it
That's
was.
fair.
I think either it was an employee that worked there that had connections to law enforcement, or it was maybe somebody directly involved in law enforcement, like a police officer, something, or a detective. Which I don't think. I feel like it might have been probably an employee, or a resident in there that was staying there the night. That's what I think.
And that's fair. You know, like, obviously, possibilities are possibilities. It's crazy how one thing can be connected to another.
Yeah.
I don't think that's likely, though. What I think happened is actually that floor, from what I read, was being rented out by, I think it was a restaurant.
Oh.
Which is why that floor had that freezer.
And why it was empty?
There was like, yeah, exactly. There wasn't people on that floor. And then the mother did come out and say, well, can you guys at least explain why this floor had this freezer running if you guys are saying that, you know, that it was being rented out to whoever you guys are claiming. I want to disclose that too. But what I think is that girl got drunk, stumbled into that floor, that level of the building, walked into the freezer, not knowing it was a freezer, got locked inside. It was dark, and died due to hypothermia. And she was too drunk to know, like, I'm trapped in here.
That is the more logical.
She probably thought, I'm just taking a nap. I feel sleepy, and just never woke up.
No, that is the more logical theory.
And collapsed.
Yeah, no, that is the more logical theory.
And the whole cop saying that stupid shit to the mother, I don't know how he saw her. Maybe she was just losing her mind or something like that, and he just told her that to calm her down.
Maybe, but that'd be very
Not
cool for him to do it.
Of course. Not banking on the fact that she would remind people of that. And then when it came back to him, hey, you said this. He was like, fuck.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he was like that old school, prove it. I didn't say it. Do you have proof? You know?
Yeah.
Because what leads me to believe that as likely is the fact that from the very beginning, the cops were like, you know, like,
she's a runaway.
Do we have to look for her? Can we just wait 24 hours before you make like a fucking claim, and then after we'll wait till we get the claim of a missing person, and then we'll begin the investigation?
That is
because the mom was trying to like get them to, you know, can you guys do something about this? She's missing. Which just shows me that sometimes police aren't gonna rush.
Yeah, some just don't give a fuck about you.
You know,
some just don't give a fuck.
Because for her to come to them and then for them to respond, lady, you gotta go make a claim, and even after that, the claim has to get to us, and then we'll commence the search.
Yeah, that's true.
It just shows me like a bunch of, I don't believe it to be malicious. I just believe it to be like laziness and fucking
incompetence.
Exactly.
That might be true.
So that's you know, I see what you think.
No, and I mean, yours is it's much more logical. It's much more logical. Me, I'm going off of the fucking conspiracy, and I'm going off the far-fetched, which it does sound way out there, but at the same time, it could be one in a million shot that it could be true.
They do say the truth is stranger than fiction sometimes.
Yeah.
That it's like you can't even write a story how something really happened.
Exactly. But I think that's a beautiful way to end it there.
Yep.
If you guys enjoyed it, if you guys loved it, or if you guys have any other theories as to what happened here, let us know. Let us know what you guys thought on the other topics. And a huge thank you to fucking Jesse.
Shout out to Jesse, man. Thank you
Shout
for the
out to fucking Jesse, the fucking working out his fucking magic. Hopefully we can have him on here if he says yes.
And hopefully we do. Hopefully we do some man on the streets, man.
And hopefully we do some man on the streets with him.
That'll be something badass.
We hope you guys enjoyed it. We're your hosts, J40 and Sickly. And we'll see you on the next one.
Shout out to Jesse.
Shout out to Jesse. Peace.